Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I am your whimsical DM, Victoria, and we're going to play some D&D tonight. But before we do that, we're going to start us off with some announcements and then get into a little recap. So, Kristy, if you could be so kind as to play that clip.
Good evening, and welcome to the show. Now, here's a word from our sponsors. Little Dragon Core is a Canadian-based dice company that supplies all kinds of cool tabletop gear. I mean, look at all these pretty dicey boys. Head on over to littledragoncorp.com and enter the coupon code BONUS for 15% off your order. That's BONUS. Cardboard Castle Games is a brick-and-mortar game store local to Evans, Georgia. They have a wide selection of tabletop gaming and other cool games like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, and even Yu-Gi-Oh! You can visit them in-store and let them know that we sent you, or you can go visit their website at cardboardcastlegames.com. Also, big thanks to Syrinscape for the amazing atmospheric sounds and music. You can add these sounds and more to your game when you download the Syrinscape desktop or mobile app. The app is free and comes with 20 sound sets that are included to get you started. You don't even need to register. Go to Syrinscape.com to find out more. Thanks as well to Adrian Von Ziegler for providing some additional music that we use here on Thursday nights. He's a talented composer with great content usage rights, so go check out his YouTube and Patreon and support him if you can. Please check out our other games. We stream almost every day here at Probo. We have games for several of the major published 5e modules as well as homebrew games, and some of our games feature systems other than 5e, like Star Wars, Power Rangers, and Alien. Come watch all of our VODs over on our YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget, you can also support the channel by following, by subscribing, remembering to click the bell notification so you never miss another live stream, using channel emotes, and if you're an Amazon Prime user, you get a free subscription to Twitch every month. Thanks again to all of our sponsors for supporting Proficiency Bonus. And now, back to the show.
Yay, we're back. Thank you very much, Kristy, for the announcement. You can have a D6 Bardic Inspiration for that. And I'm going to pass it off to our resident recapper, Ink, who will also get a D6 Bardic Inspiration for his impending contribution to the stream. If you could be so kind as to recap us, Ink.
I would be happy to. So, everyone, we have been beginning our recaps with a little bit of a disclaimer these last few sessions. So I'm going to continue with one again today. We are in the very last throes of the Wild Beyond the Witchlight adventure module. Now, your game will probably not be like ours, but if you are worried about that, just be aware that we've had an ongoing spoiler warning for later events of that module. That being said, last time on Wild Beyond the Witchlight, it was the epic showdown between the party and the Hourglass Coven, as well as their Jub Bird. It was hard fought, with the party having to rely on many of the allies that they've been able to gather from their adventures here in the Feywild, as well as players utilizing much of the aid of rerolls and bonus dice, thankfully provided by you, our viewers, on this wonderful adventure, saving them like potions in a JRPG for the final battle. And we were victorious. We had one death, one resurrection. And now we get to experience the aftermath of the destruction of these Hags 3 and what that means for Prismere and for our heroes. Victoria?
Thank you very much for that recap. As I said, D6 Bardic Inspiration for you, and for our DJ, that is a player inspiration to you, Graf. And also, I've been forgetting to say this, and I would like to apologize in advance, but Iris, as our lore keeper of all things Fey, bargain, and deals, you can also have a D6 Bardic Inspiration for your contributions to the stream. Jamie, we'll think of something for you to do soon enough.
We're happy to have you.
Jamie, yeah. You know? Actually, Saoirse, or Iris, you get a player inspiration because you don't actually have a lost thing in all of this. So you're a regular, you get a normal inspo.
Well, actually, Clover should be full inspiration now.
No.
No?
It hasn't
So
been.
She hasn't been reunited yet.
Having your
Yeah.
lost thing is not the same thing as being made whole. She no longer is under the effects of like the curse of having to knock on. I think hers was she has to knock on every door that she sees. In order to like go through it. So she doesn't have that, and she no longer has halfling bad luck. But if she were to have her token taken from her, or otherwise not have it on her person, that all comes back. So until she can magically be made whole, which is what Dawn did with Sam, she's still not able to get inspiration. Like player inspiration.
You got too much going on.
I know.
I can roll nat 20s now.
She can roll nat 20s now, so that's great.
Thank God. Because you roll them a lot.
Yeah.
It would be nice to actually get to use them.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 second. Okay, so we basically like the final hag hit the ground and we ended last time because it had gone a little bit late. So I'm gonna start with like a little pan over to what's happening below with the war, because you guys had been kind of like looking at that, just so that we can get some resolution there because it's like happening simultaneously with all of this. Then we're gonna get back to the group of you. So, I basically had like a small modifier being added. Like everyone starts at 0, and for each like group of allies or other point of preparation that you guys did for this war, gave you another addition of like a plus modifier, and it's basically just like that versus what the hags had going on, and that basically like sets the hags set the DC of like 10 plus their additions, and then you guys roll like I rolled a d20 for you guys plus what you had. So this is the outcome of that roll. You look down on the sweeping valley 15,000 feet below this arena in Motherhorn, where you guys find yourselves. So at first, your legions of soldiers crash upon the enemy sent by the Hourglass Coven. And to outline everything that you guys did, and I think I didn't quite get everything in here, but I got most of it. Groups of Korets are hurling boulders and commanding their hair to do things like trip enemies or grab them. Little Briganock strike forces are manipulating time around these like shambling mounds of like detritus and like weeds and plant matter, instantly tying up their roots and nailing them down to the ground. Bullywug Knights are charging forth in gleaming armor, while Bullywug balloon pilots are dropping like logs and explosives and boulders, and even Mr. Stump from above to crush goblins and darkling legions. There's a few Harengon snipers that leap above all of the clashing hordes of soldiers and pin like roving shadows to the ground with hails of arrows. Elmer the groundskeeper is shooting webs across the field as Wover, I wrote Elmer twice, consumes shadows that are like animated and moving across the battlefield from within themselves and then leaps over to the next one. Little burning shrubs throw themselves into marching lines of tin soldiers, and beasts of forest and field, swamp, and mountain crash across the field everywhere as well. Chaos ensues and battle commences, and at first, in that chaos, it's unclear which side prevails. But as the fight goes on and both allies and enemies fall, the conviction of your fighters and what they have at stake and what they believe in spurs them onward through the fear and loss, and soon enough, the tide turns in your favor. As each one of the hags fall, their soldiers are shaken when they feel their mistress's energy fade, and as Scabatha Nightshade's corpse hits the ground, the final of the 3 hags in the Hourglass Coven, the Coven's tyranny is broken, and instantly, their soldiers, we would see, like, across this battlefield, throw down their weapons in surrender. We would see droves of goblins who instantly stop fighting and just begin begging for mercy in their lives, stating that they didn't really have any skin in this game, but they had been tricked into bargains with the hags and had to do what they were required to do per magical law. The shadows all just kind of like dissipate. Even the darklings, who like seem to be pretty aligned with Endolin, they all stop fighting, and they're just like, we would like to live another day. No, thank you. We will stop this. Simultaneously, the treant, Little Oak, who bears the home of the Getaway Gang, charges up the pathway to Motherhorn with a flaming dryad behind him, Meadowleaf. And Little Oak crashes into the front door of the castle once, twice, and on the third time bursts through, allowing a cheering swarm of allies to follow along. And you all can hear as they just like spill into this castle and tear down all of these curtains that are like blocking the hallways between the rooms. You hear their battle cries and their songs lauding all of you for your victory. You guys won. You had way more allies and things that you called on than the hags. I basically would have had to nat 1 the roll for you guys to not win because you had so many people that you had called on. So, this is all happening as the fight concludes. Like, you guys can hear that the doors are being burst down. Clover, you can probably fly up and see that, like, your army is now swarming up the pathway up to the castle. Aurum, you still have 30 seconds of this magic because it was 5 rounds of combat that we did, and so there's 5 left. So, immediately after this little strange like octopus like robot creature just pops in and is like looking very confused and speaking in this like robot language of like binary and beeps and boops, an eye appears on your forehead, giving you advantage on wisdom like perception checks that rely on sight. You then pop back to the astral plane. So this eye opens up on your. This guy appears before you. An eye opens up on your forehead. You vanish. You come back. You're covered in grease. You start levitating, and everybody around you becomes invisible. So that is all of the things that happen. So there's just like a few seconds of chaos as you guys are like breathing and like recovering and coming to this realization that you were victorious, where there's just like magical like calamity happening in Aurum's corner.
I feel like cat hair and grease is probably the worst thing out of all of those.
Yeah.
That's gonna be real nasty to clean.
You're muted.
You're muted.
I also have the maple syrup that was coming out of my eyes. It's also probably in my fur.
So like sticky, crystallized nastiness all down here.
Yeah, you're crusty, you're greasy, you're floating, you're also invisible, and you also can't see. None of you can see any of the others because all of you are now invisible because you're all within 30 feet of Aurum. Yeah. So, what would you all like to do? There are 3 hag bodies laying around.
Yeah, I need to
And
look
the
for my.
jump bird.
Yeah, okay, what is going on?
Where did you all go? I'm gonna fly down and start looking for the 3 things. I guess I'll go for the key first because I feel like that's the most obvious.
Okay, roll a strength check
Oh fuck.
to pull that out of her corpse.
Okay.
What would everyone else like to do? Other than being like, hey, where is everyone?
Seriously, like, where did they go? Was the party really not over?
Never mind. It's not gonna work. I have a -3 strength right now.
Right.
I can do it. I'll do it.
I'm gonna just roll to see what happens. Hang on. Let's see what. Yeah. That.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, you go to grab it and like some of the grease from Aurum's body like somehow got onto like your hands and you just like go flying. Like you go to grab it and you just slip and tumble backwards with a -2.
I'm that 20.
Oh my
20
god.
for a 25.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Greasy hands.
Yeah, so you I think you can hear that like Clover is like grunting with the effort and then slips and goes flying and like crashes into like this wooden set like building like castle that they had made. So you can invisibly walk up because you know that she wants this key and you know that she's wanted this key for quite a long time. and you like grab it and like squat down and just use your whole body weight to pull. And there's this like heavy, like wet, meaty sound
No.
as the key is forcibly ripped from her body, the way that you would rip an arm off of a corpse. Like you hear tearing sinew and flesh. And it's like also got this like woody sound to it. Like instead of like cracking bone, you hear like cracking wet wood. And you pull it out. It had this look of like a little like silver key in her back, and on the inside it was also a key. It's just like covered in like weird gore, but it's like also made of wood, which is what Scabatha was made out of, like worm-eaten, termite-infested wood.
Yeah.
But you have this key out of her back. It seems like it was like a part of her body though, so short of killing her, it would have been very hard to get out.
I'm gonna make it float over. Well, I'm gonna float it over, but I'm gonna make it look like it's floating over to Clover.
You don't know where Clover even is right now.
I mean, you know the general vicinity of where I crashed, but you don't know where
That's true.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make it float in the air.
Can I cast Fairy Fire and then just choose to fail so that I'm sparkly now and people can see where I'm at?
Honestly,
I feel
hit
like,
me too.
yeah, whoever is in the vicinity, you could choose to fail, and
I'll
then
fail.
you are sparkly outline of like
I love
glittering.
that. How very
guess
like epic
eyes,
moment for the end of this
like,
battle is we're all just sparkling.
Like sparkly snowflakes, I guess.
Aw.
Yeah. Because I'm in winter form right now. So
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so unless somebody here wants to fail, you guys are invisible, but now you look like these like little frosty, like sparkly, snowy versions of yourselves. Which is kind of cool.
Ego has, was slumped in this corner. I mean, I had been on 1 HP, and then I used that last 3rd level spell for the counter spell. So I think Ego has maybe fallen asleep, or at the very least is having one of those, like, it's almost like when you have a caffeine crash. Ego's just giving out, not into dangerous unconsciousness, but is just trying to focus on not choking on their blood.
I feel like Clover would have like draped one of the blankets over your shoulders from like the bedrolls just to just take a rest.
Yeah, you can certainly do that. What about Dawn? Anything for Dawn?
Dawn is probably still looking at Scabatha. Yeah.
I mean, she's torn up. You tore her the fuck up.
He's going to sort of nudge her over the side. Cause fuck that bitch.
I need her.
Did you not get it out yet?
Did I get the key?
I got it.
Oh, she
Aurum
had the
got that
key. Okay.
So she had so you have the shard of the present that you got way back from Valvorna.
So that's
now you have
2.
the key, so now you're only looking for the thread of the future.
Oh boy.
Which is and he's gonna.
And you're looking for Ego's tuft of baby hair.
Oh yeah. Would they have it on their person?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that both of those things are going to be on Endelyn.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I'm not very good at looking for things. I'm going to tap myself with my last 2nd level spell slot for Cure Wounds.
Yeah, do it. You certainly can.
Ooh, double max. Oh, well, not double max, but double 6s, so I get 16 HP back.
I can do some more healing as well if people need it, but I don't think, because I can't see anyone, I don't think Saoirse's first instinct is like, oh, let's go around healing people. As far as she knows, everybody's fine, so...
Yeah, no worries about it. He's just like, I feel ouchies, so... I'll try to help look for the thread of the future if they ask for it.
Yeah, I would bring it up for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely, is that doing like that? there's not even really like a role for this one because you know exactly when you look at Endelin's body. I think you know exactly what you're looking for, because she had this like very small, frail body with like 2 sets of arms, and she was like wrapped in all these layers of like fabric that formed this elaborate dress that had a like little marionette theater built into it, and she would control the strings like with her fingers. So I think you pretty quickly are like, oh, maybe this one of the
Puppet
strings.
yeah.
And I think like, you know, Clover just like being somebody that has a lot of stuff, or like Ego having the scissors, you can find like scissors to cut a little bit of thread from. As you take the third and final item of your patron's request in hand, Luna like begins to like glow faintly, and like her eyes kind of like go completely like white and glowing as if they're like starlight, and she speaks, and it's not in a voice that is her own. It's in the voice of your patron, and you would hear him say, "You've done it. I always knew that you could. May I have those?
Of course.
I will need to take Luna for a while. I need her to deliver these to me because I can't come and get them myself. Is that all right?"
Oh yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah. That makes sense.
Could you lay them all out together?
Can you help me with the key? I'm gonna put the other 2 down. I don't want to touch it.
And this like possessed Luna, if you will go up and touch a paw to each of the items, which then turn into this like tiny, like almost like they're these tiny little like motes of starlight. They just kind of like dematerialize into this like light, and she touches with the first, the second, the third, and you have this like little collection of motes that then begin swirling into a circle, almost like as if it's like a ring. And Luna will jump through it, and as she passes through this ring, she herself dematerializes into starlight, and then there's just like this very rapid motion of it all like going up into the sky, and like Team Rocket blasting off again, like little sparkle in the sky as it vanishes up.
Oh my god.
So Luna is temporarily unavailable to you right now. She will be back eventually, maybe. But you have this like very strong sense of like pride that is not your own, that is like being magically like projected onto you right now. It's like having a million cats just like weaving in between your legs and like rubbing up against you and like bunting you with their cheeks. Like you just feel like that's happening with like every cat ever right now.
Aww.
Yeah. Anything else that anyone wants to do?
Look for that baby hair.
Yes.
We go down like this. We're super not visible.
After a minute, the invisibility goes away.
Oh, well, that's good.
Okay.
Does the robot stay?
This entire actually, hold on, sorcerer. Where's the freaking Modron? Where's the Modron?
Is this my little buddy now?
Hold on, I gotta find where the Modron.
Well, because you don't have control over it, right? He's just kind of like
Yeah, he's just here.
wandering around.
Yeah, no, it just like appeared and was like and like was just like very confused, like looking around and just like wandering, and then after a minute it also vanished.
Okay.
Oh. Dang it.
Wow.
The grease stays. The levitation's for 10 minutes. You just, you stay greasy, you stay levitating for a little while. And
What about the eye?
on your forehead would go away after a minute as well.
Oh my goodness.
It just like shuts.
Cool.
Anybody who wants to look for the hair can roll me an investigation check.
I'll give help to someone.
I got a +3, so I'll do it.
Okay, I'll help you then.
Yippee!
Ooh, natural 20, 23.
Okay, yeah. You definitely were on the right path thinking that Endolin would have it. You go to search her pockets or her like skirts and stuff first, and you would find there that in like this little inner pocket, like tucked in a very hidden spot that you think would have been almost impossible for anybody to find, but you happen to be like really on your A game about this. You find this like small little tuft of hair tucked away in this pocket against her like papery, leathery skin. And you see this like little tuft of baby hair that's like tied with a string. And it's like white and it's very soft.
I think this might be Phil as he like pulls it up. Is this it?
It looks like it.
I hope so. I'm not really good at this.
I'll activate my magic eyes just in case he's like, who knows what this witch has done to his hair.
The hair does not appear to be magical.
Okay, good.
It's just baby hair. It's just that having somebody's hair for the sake of divination magic is really not good news for the person who has that, whose hair that was.
Yeah, I would indicate that to Dawn.
All right.
But while I have my eyes open, is there anything else magical on these bodies before we get rid of them?
Yeah. You would see a little bit of magic, in, let's see. There's a little bit of magic in Bavlorna's pockets.
Okay.
1 second. And let's see. What else would we get? What we have here? I'm looking on a lot of things.
I would bring, unless Dawn wanted to, I would bring the baby hair over to Ego. Like, I know he's kind of on his butt, but...
Yeah, I'll bring it over. I know Ego's sleeping right now, but...
Why not? Can you beyond?
Yeah. I think she'll feel better if she has it.
Definitely. I don't want to wake him, though.
I don't know if she's asleep or not. There's a lot of adrenaline.
Like,
just
and I died there again.
No!
Quietly in the corner.
No!
Oh my god.
No. Just exhausted.
That would be crazy. So if you go to reach into Bavlorna's pocket.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Okay.
Oh, am I gonna get? Am I gonna get?
Our army's here.
Right.
Let me.
As I reach into pockets, the drums arrive. Is that what's happening?
I switched it to camp because usually camp, like the social camp,
right?
One is chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you immediately get blasted by 4 grenades.
Nice.
No, you pull out this like, you feel this like solid piece of stone in there, and you like pull it out, and it's this like little figurine of a fly. This like little black statuette.
Of course she'd have the fly. Ugh. Of course she would. Okay. Clover doesn't know.
So,
this is Kristy's reaction, not Clover's.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
And then. Yeah. You would also find, And in Scabatha's pockets, you would also you'd see some magic basically in all three of their pockets, like one little thing in each. If you go in and you look in Scabatha's pocket, you would find this like another small like polished stone.
Okay.
So this one you would see is it's like the size of a marble.
Okay.
And it's like this little like it's got this like purple prismatic look to it. And then I'm putting all of this in loot because I know you guys will identify it eventually.
Right.
And then in come on. In Endelin's pocket, there's something as well. You reach in and you find that there's a deck of cards.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Like just a normal deck of cards?
Yep, just like a deck of cards that's
The
like
look
giving
on
off
Jerry's
magic.
face right now.
They're,
And
like,
it's
made out of-
magical?
Yeah, it's magical. They're made out of parchment.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just putting all of them in my pocket because Ego's too out of commission right now. As long as none of them are giving me like insta death vibes, they're just going. I'm just holding them for now.
It can't be.
It's like a magical deck of like cards.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
We're all gonna die.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think you would also between the group of those hags,
Mm-hmm.
you guys find like scores of trinkets.
Hell yeah.
Like at this point,
We're
There-
Feywild rich.
yeah, there's probably like a solid like 50 trinkets that you can just like find
Holy
tucked
shit.
into their skirts, and like also just like looking around the castle at this point. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So basically each of you can add 10 trinkets if you would like.
All right.
Why not?
I'm going to use these to buy. I don't know.
Spell scrolls. Hee hee.
Oh, that I just totally did not link the right thing, did I? No, I did. Okay. I don't know why that wasn't. Come on. Come on. View details page. There we go.
Oh, okay.
A short while after my hair being returned to me, because I don't wanna just
You
sit
passed
there
out.
peepers the whole time.
Yeah.
Short while after the hair is returned to me, I will come to kind of collect myself a little bit. Let me see what I got. I still got all my second level spells. I'm gonna cast Wither and Bloom on myself.
Oh.
Nice.
So that I can get 1d6 plus 5 HP back.
Who are you withering?
No one.
She's just gonna like wither like a bug that's like in the air or something.
Wither, yeah.
Hooray! I'm a messenger from the fairy kingdom.
7.
Congratulations!
Oh no. Oh no.
Another 7 back. Basically, what I do is once I've gathered enough strength to kind of like feel I can use a little bit of magic, I just take my blood-soaked hand, putting it on my blood-soaked open throat, and I clasp around it, and I make a like a bunch of flour and moss bloom on my throat to staunch it. So it soaks up all the blood, so it's like this red moss and a flower on my throat.
That's
And
kind
then
of fancy.
Thank you. Get myself to my feet and make my way back up onto the platform.
Yeah, and like the kids are there. The kids are like cheering and also like kind of freaked out at Black Donald, who is still a bone devil, but then like eventually
right.
one of them is like, "Can I hang from your tail? Can you throw me with your tail?" And he's like, "Yes."
Oh,
and
no.
this like just starts like flinging the children and like
Of
letting them
course.
like climb on him and like hang off of him. Juniper would kind of come up and like bump her head against Aurum. The blink dogs are there just like poofing in and out and just like being dogs. And I think Gleam and Glister also are there like congratulating you guys along with the pixies. Yeah, and everyone's
They were
really
a
happy.
big
And
help.
another point of order, the like raging storm and like lightning and clouds and rain is stopped immediately as soon as the coven was defeated.
Holy shit.
The clouds are still there, but they're like actively dissipating.
I would like to. The party's starting, everybody. So I would like to start drumming on my drum, but I'm gonna go looking for a bigger drum because this is a theater. They gotta have some sort of
Roll an
music or something.
investigation check.
That's good. I got good investigation. 4.
You're looking for a drum. You find a lot of objects that like, I mean, you technically could drum your hands against them. Like there's like that like a destroyed suit of armor that you guys beat on. There's that giant like moon disc that you guys had. You're not finding like a drum though.
All right,
Like,
that's all right. I'll
drum.
just beat the hell out of mine.
Yeah, and like slowly but surely all of these like fairies just swarm in and like they're running up like Queen Argentile probably like runs and is like, "Let me out! Do you need any help? Where are they? I'm here to kick ass and take names."
We got him.
We got him.
That's pretty good then. It means I have to do less work. Hey, you know exactly what time it is. And like as more and more Chorids and like Briganox and just like all of these people begin to like swarm in, this like giant like theater like space like I don't know what is the word for like an arena except when it's like built into the ground and they had them in like ancient Greece where it was like the steps were built into the ground. Not a coliseum. There's like amphitheater. It's this big amphitheater that you guys are in, and like it just very quickly fills up with all kinds of Fae allies that you had that like immediately just begin. Somebody like somehow there's a keg in here now, and somebody has set up a full bar almost immediately. Everybody's partying, everybody's dancing. Like actually, even some of the goblins that were fighting against you guys would come up and be like, is it okay if we join in? We like didn't really like the hags.
Of course.
Also, some of them are like actively jailed in the basement.
Oh no! I'm gonna go I'm gonna go to the basement. I go to the basement.
Yeah.
Clover.
So
she's gone.
The chime. I toss it to one of the goblins. The chime of opening. Oh god, we did just completely ignore that section. Oh
no!
So if you go down over here to the bottom.
Hang on, let me put this on the map. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Mother.
Oh no.
This is there are 6 dingy cells that are strung with hammocks that line both sides of this corridor. And it seems like these like really shoddy like metal and wooden bars have been put in place in these like to kind of like corral them in. Clover, you don't really even need like you could probably kick these down with your minus strength. Like this is like really like they really just were like, let me throw a pile of trash in this doorway and call it a jail cell. You can see there's like one goblin is like loudly snoring in one of the cells. And then let's see. In the other cell, you see a female goblin, and you can like hear her stomach grumbling before you even get up there. But she's in that cell, like nibbling on her toenails.
Oh no! I'm gonna give her one of my rations. Oh my goodness!
She'll like scramble forward and grab it from you, and just like shove it in her mouth. And it's like, oh, thank you so much. Kiz was so hungry.
Oh
no! Her toenails
saving me. I was so hungry.
Oh no! I want to get them all upstairs, so at least then they could party, and hopefully there's food up there that they can eat, and not just rocks.
Yeah, for sure. Token layers. So yeah,
Oh, little guys.
Actually, you know what? Actually, now because I'm realizing because everyone had moved, there's 2 other goblins actually in another cell that are in there together. And they, when you let them out too, they would ask, excuse me, have you seen our daughter? Did you happen to see a little girl flying an evil kite out in the mountains?
Did we? No, don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think I would have.
Oh gosh.
Where are the mountains? And what type of evil kite?
Yeah, well, our daughter, Phenia, was flying, a kite, but it has, like, a face on it, and she's basically, Creeping Lynn had punished us, and also punished her, that she had to fly this kite, and if she let it go, she would become instantly severely aged. And we were just kind of hoping that somebody would come up and tell us that they had seen her and helped her.
Have we seen an aged goblin? No?
No.
Okay.
Aged goblin.
Okay, well that's, I guess, a positive.
She was stealing props from End, so End said that she wouldn't punish her as long as she flew Endelin's kite, but then she couldn't let go of it. And End also stole our shadows, so it made it really hard for us to be able to get help to look for her. Maybe we still don't have shadows, but like maybe we can go and...
Yeah, do you know where she keeps those things? The shadows?
The Shadow Theater.
Oh, shit. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, she has a whole theater of shadows.
Okay, why don't we get you guys... She's dead. She's dead. You're safe now.
Whoa! Who did that?
Me and my friends did that. Like, maybe 5 minutes ago.
Wow.
Probably about an hour ago. Now. Because Ego had a nap. About an hour.
I think if you were to... I mean, if she's dead, if you were to go and let all the shadows out of the Shadow Theater, they might go back to where they belong.
Maybe? Yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah, I'll figure that out. Okay. Why don't you go upstairs? There's like a big party going on with music and dancing, and I'm sure there's drinks and food for you guys, and you guys can just rest, and we'll figure out all the things that were stolen and how to return them.
I think we're probably gonna go look for Phenia, but maybe when we find her and can get her away from the kite, we'll be back.
Okay, yeah.
And this like little married couple of goblins will go like tottering out of there. But then the other 2 that were there, you wake up the sleeping one, the one that was that you gave food to, they will happily go up and party. And even like some darklings too will come up and just be like, Hey.
Let's go.
Before the hour mark, I definitely wanted to talk to my little fae creature summon thing.
Yeah. Are you still in winter form? Saoirse? Yeah.
Yeah, we're still a little we did almost die, so we're in denial, but we're scared.
Yeah. Yeah, what would you like to say to him? You can definitely talk to him like before the party gets started and everything. Like you have this little moment of time. So
I'm just gonna go poke him and like the shoulder. What's your deal?
you would feel that like he's like semi-corporeal, like he's there, but it's like putting your finger through like very cold water that has like little bits of ice in it, like slush. And he will turn, and you can see that for a moment there's this like very feral look on his face, like he was about to turn into like a polar bear or a leopard seal
We're
again.
backing up. We're backing up. We're like, no, too close.
He sees that it's you and like quickly regains composure, tucks his sword away, and does like a very deep but very stiff bow. What do you mean, my deal?
Well, right now you're a winter fae, and I was like, oh, I've never summoned a winter fae before. That's interesting. But then you were a summer fae for a minute there, so I'm just trying to figure out what exactly you are that I've summoned.
I'm a reflection of the magic within you. You find yourself in winter, and so I am winter.
Right. But I'm still spring. I just have like winter energy. I'm not of winter, but you're winter.
I am winter.
Yes, exactly. But I'm spring.
You are spring, but you are not only spring.
No, I'm pretty sure my mum and my dad are both spring, and I'm spring.
Then how do you explain this?
That's what I'm asking you!
This little something else here. It's spring, certainly, but I smell the stink of summer on you.
Oh, that's the curse.
And something else.
There shouldn't be anything else.
And yet there is. Something wild. Something feral.
Ooh.
I don't know anything about that. I mean, I made a deal with Sam, but I don't think I'd call him feral. He's a bit, much sometimes, but he's definitely not feral.
It is not the mark of a bargain. It is you. I can see that this foul cloud of summer that clings to you is of you, but not by you.
Right. Yes, right. I
You
was born
are,
with it, but it's not part of... Well, I mean, it's part of me, but it's not, like, my magic.
you are of
Part
spring, and you are
Right.
by spring, but you are also of and by something else.
That doesn't sound right. You're making things up, I think. Can you
Don't
just...
gaslight
you
your own
question-
summon.
You would question me when you
Yeah.
called me here yourself for aid.
Well, I'm just confused because you're saying things that don't sound right to me and don't make any sense, and you're also confusing because again, I don't know why a winter, like when I summon my other summons, they sometimes kind of have a winter like vibe to them. Like my bear turns into a polar bear when I summon it, and I'm in winter, but like it's not actually a winter creature. It's just a spring creature that is colored winter. But you're not, so I'm just a little trying to figure that out, that's all.
Well, I'm
How
sorry
that works.
I've disappointed you.
No, it's not actually. I'm
Thank you
actually really
for me.
excited about it because it's very interesting and different for me.
I don't know that I have anything else to say to
Wow.
someone so rude.
I'm rude.
Terrible, in fact. I find your attitude abhorrent.
Well, I find your everything kind of freaky, so there you go.
Good, then we are aligned that this conversation is over.
Yeah, in fact, I think you can go now. I'm good with that. Goodbye. And I'm going to release concentration on this guy.
Yeah.
I'm hanging the phone up.
She's so funny. She was like, "Hey, what's going on?" Gaslights him. You're wrong, and you're mean. Bye.
It's like, well, I don't really like what you're saying, so fuck you.
Ooh.
No, it just doesn't
Nice.
make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't sound right.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna start playing some music and pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah, roll a performance check.
We love coping.
We love denial in this house.
Right.
If it doesn't make me happy, it can't exist.
Anybody who's doing music
That's
or
a
otherwise,
quote.
anybody who is participating in the revelry can roll a performance check. Or if you think something else, you can tell me what that is and probably roll something. But Aurum can give me a performance too.
17.
13.
Yeah, you guys are jamming. Like, everybody's really into it.
See.
Um,
Ooh, that's a 17 on the die, plus my
Oh.
meaty performance. He's like,
try
I promised the
playing.
party, so 24.
yeah, you guys get it bumping real
Wait,
quick.
what's he
like,
gonna do? What's he gonna do? Oh,
Oh,
honey.
I'm proficient, but it's a 7. A windpipe is not good.
Yeah,
I'm trying to play
You've
a
had
horn.
a rough time.
You're trying to play a horn, but the whistling is coming from the gash.
Oh no!
Yeah. I go to hold it up to my mouth, and then I feel the air coming out of my throat, and I
No.
put the horn on my
No,
throat, and it's
no,
just
no,
it's just like
It's like deeply unsettling to everybody around. So for the rest of you, yeah, you guys are like cutting up. You guys are getting everybody really into it. Like, the bass is so bumping that the corpses of the hags go tumbling off the edge anyway. Like, the vibrations just send these shattered corpses flying off.
Holy shit! Oh my god, that visual.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What is Clover doing once she gets the goblins like sorted out?
This bitch is going to the theater.
Okay. What would you like to do at the theater?
Check the door.
Yeah.
For magic.
So,
I'm hoping
gonna-
it's dissipated now that they're dead, but who knows? It could have been just like a holding spell or something else.
Over here. And then get my page back up. So you go into this hallway and it's like this, like, you open the curtain that's there, and there's like this shadowy hallway that's like blocked by this wooden backdrop 10 feet from the entrance, and it's painted to look like a library bookshelf. But you can see that there's like a little bit of space. I don't know if you can see where I'm shift pinging. There's like a little bit of space to the side of it that you can like slide behind.
Where is it?
Oh, I'm on the wrong layer.
Oh, okay.
Did that work?
Yep. Okay. Yeah. I'll go
Yeah,
through there.
so if you walk past that first one, well, actually, when you get within 5 feet of the first one, this like painting, this backdrop that looks like a library bookshelf, swings back against the wall and reveals more of the corridor where you see a backdrop painted to look like the raging sea. As you approach that one, it also then swings back and reveals a third backdrop that's painted to look like a moonlit graveyard.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you flying right now?
Yeah. I don't want to touch anything. I'm trying not to touch anything. Like, even with my magic eyes up, I'm just worried she has, like, mechanical traps that I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
This feels like something important that she wouldn't want to be let out.
Yeah, so after about a minute, those backdrops are going to slide into place, and that third one will also swing out of the way, and you can see that there's another curtain. You can see where I'm pinging there.
Mm-hmm.
that you can open up. And you would see rows of tiered seating that fill the back half of this little theater. And there's like motes of dust that float and dance above the ancient upholstery. The seats face a stone stage that's flanked by wooden silhouettes of fir trees. They're lit from behind and above by a white moon-like sphere of glass that hangs from the ceiling by a short chain and casts long shadows on the walls. And suspended above the stage is a trapeze. With your magic eyes, you can see... Oh, actually, you know what? There's another magic item that you guys would have gotten from Endelin's corpse, and I couldn't find the link because it was in this one specific page that we are now on.
Okay.
So you can see that, like, there are invisible creatures all throughout this theater, and they're, like, sitting in the seats, kind of like they're, like, hunched and, like, watching whatever, like, shadow puppetry might happen here. But they're just kind of, like, there. They don't seem like they're activated by your presence if you're just, like, peeking in.
Yeah, I'm just peeking in. Okay.
So there's, like, the wooden trees and a light.
Yeah.
And then the
light.
seats.
Is there any movement on the stage? Like, if I look towards the stage, is there anything over there that's magical or invisible or moving? Even, like, physically moving?
Yeah, you would actually see that there's several invisible creatures hidden within the shadows created by these, like, simplistic, like, Christmas tree, like, fir tree shaped outlets. Like, they're hidden in those shadows.
Do I think they're those things that are that were hiding in the shadows in the kitchen? What were they called?
No.
Okay.
No, these are, like, invisible. So those were boggles, and boggles don't turn invisible. But they can, like, pass through shadows. These are invisible, like, creatures.
Okay. And the ones on stage, are they, like, acting out of, like, a scene, or are they just
Not
hiding?
Right now. As soon as you looked in, it was that there were shadows. Like, they looked like the normal shadowy outlines that these, like, tree cutouts would cast onto the stage, but you can see that within them there's, like, a bunch of, like, little invisible. They're really all different sizes, but, like, invisible beings are in that space.
Okay.
But you can't see them with regular eyes. You just see shadows.
Okay. Then I will call out, "She's dead. You can go back to your bodies now."
Good news.
She's dead.
She's dead.
Yeah, and as you roll a persuasion check, let me just see.
I'm gonna use actual die.
They just need to, like, they just want to vibe check you really quick.
Yeah, fair. Fair. I'll use the white one because the black one always rolls down once. I'm gonna try the white. Okay. Not bad. 22.
Yeah, you say that, and then you would see that actually, that is, so there's one shadow that's a lot larger than the others that you would instantly recognize belongs to that bugbear Hurley, who, you found here.
Yeah.
And it, like, sprints out of there. It's like, I'm gone. You would also see a shadow that is familiar to you. This is Gleam's shadow that I believe were you the one that Gleam's shadow was trying to get with in the swan boats?
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah. You would see that shadow also emerges and, like, leaps up onto the trapeze and is, like, swinging on it, and then, like,
I feel like Clover like backs the fuck up.
Swings out of like, from there out into the hallway and is, like, right up against you in this hallway where you're backed up on the wall, and, like, appraises you, reaches out towards you.
No.
When you say no, pulls her hand back and then darts off down the hallway. And I think all the rest of the shadows then, like, begin to, like, just pour out.
Okay. Hopefully that makes her better or something.
There was also a pair of scissors that Endelin had. in her pocket.
And they were magical?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're in my pocket. You'll be getting all of them once I come back to you and see that you're awake.
I think also Charmaine, like the actress, like after you guys had like finished, you heard like tiny clapping and cheering from like up in one of the box seats up there. And I think she would probably also like eventually descend down to the group of you. Since you are doing that, I think Ego, because you're kind of the only one who's like not doing super great and like getting into the party vibe, you would be approached by Meadowleaf, the burnt and dying dryad.
Ego's voice sounds like those smoker commercial.
Yeah.
So Ego's like, hi.
It's done.
It seems so. Maybe I don't want to be a downer, but it's hard for hags to stay dead, so I'm perhaps vigilant. For now, though. Yeah, I think so.
Small flying one.
Clover?
Tell her I said thank you.
Why won't you tell her yourself?
She gets... So we're gonna trigger warning for suicide here. She gets up onto like the edge of the... She gets up onto the edge of the parapet and is like standing there and turns to you and is like, I'm already dead. At least now I can be on my own terms instead of because of the damage that the hags did to my grove.
It could grow back. You don't have to do this.
Something will grow back there in time.
You don't.
But it won't be mine.
It could be. I don't see why not. You have all the time in the world now.
All the time in the world, and no grove, and no heart tree.
You don't know what the future holds.
What I know is that as long as I persist, the place where my grove once stood will always carry my hate. And it will always burn.
A little more somber.
The music just got so...
Hey, lock it.
That's crazy.
That's a tone shift if I
Ego.
ever saw one.
Vic, lock back in with me. Lock back in. All things I've learned can change with time. Hate and fire can fade. But only if you give it that time.
I don't have time. When the hags destroyed my grove and they cut down my heart tree, everything that I am, everything that keeps me tethered and keeps me myself was destroyed. I'm burning away. And she holds up her like arms and you can see like what would have once been like a beautiful, like smooth, dark wood is cracked through with these like slowly smoldering little like strings of like ember and ash and charred wood. I have nothing.
Look at who you're...
Sorry, go ahead.
Look at who you're talking to. Like, really look at me. My heart withers day by day. The thorns spread. It hurts. Even in this victory, it hurts. I have looked into that abyss that you think is all around you right now. I have done my fair share of swimming in despair. But that is not all that there ever is or ever will be. You can't see it now, but I assure you, I'm still finding reasons to go on.
Roll a persuasion check. This is a very high DC. This is
I
like
have a +4. I need my D6. Oh no. It's only a 15.
you see that there is some like understanding in her eyes at what you're saying, and she mulls it over in her mind, and then you kind of just see her features all close off. And I think she looks at you and she says, I hope for your sake that you are not left swimming in despair. And if you would do me a kindness, perhaps you can see to it that where my grove once stood, something new, something that isn't tainted with hate and greed, can grow there. Would you agree to that?
Yes.
Tell Clover I said thank you. And she like reaches into her own chest and pulls away these like shards. Like she basically like tears the wood of her own chest away, and you can see that within is like a wooden heart that is like partially charred wood. And she pulls it out and hands it to you. Seed. You take it from her?
Yeah.
As you take the heart from her hands, you can see that there is like a sense of relief that washes over her, and also resignation. And the fires that had been slowly like burning up the wood of her body begin to glow a little bit brighter. And she, instead of like going off of the side of the amphitheater here, falls to her knees before you as like pieces of her body burning begin to fall away from her. And she just looks up at you and says, thank you. And her body slowly falls over and hits the ground, and like a wooden log that has been fully burned to the core, the pieces of her just shatter and scatter into these like little burning embers there. And Meadow, was it Meadow Leaf or Meadowbrook? What was it? Meadow Leaf is no more. But you have this like heart, this little wooden heart that's warm and like slightly charred, but isn't actively burning itself in your hands. It's damaged, but not beyond repair.
Oh. I hope that
Dang.
you find a comforting dark and a a new spring.
With that, we're gonna kick it over to this is gonna be we'll do Dawn first.
Oh, boy.
So Dawn, yeah, we're gonna very quickly change vibes. It's a little bit whiplashy, but Aurum, you're there, or not Aurum, Dawn, you're there. You're playing your is it your yarding?
Yes.
You're playing your yarding, you're jamming out, everybody's jamming out, and after you like finish a song or like a set, like whatever, you go to take a little break in your performance, you would feel like, I don't really know how this would work in like plate armor. I guess you just feel something strike your plate armor like right around the ass area. And then you hear it, oh, I did not think that through. And you turn and Sam is there like shaking his hand. That really stings. Could you take that off?
You're the one who gave it to me. In fact, you replaced all the other clothes that I had with it, so...
You have those back if you want. I have to take everything. Which includes the magic. And the paladin order. And all of that.
Well, that means the answer to your question is no, I can't take it off.
Fine. It's my fault for trying to slap a metal ass.
It definitely is.
Congratulations! You did it. I'm very proud of you.
Thanks. I was expecting to feel more accomplished, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it still seems like there are, like, things to do.
Oh, most certainly. Even though the coven is gone, Zybilna's still frozen in time, and there are still people at her palace that would like to see her stay that way.
There are people still at the palace right now?
Oh, yes. There are several individuals at the palace right now. They're not the hags. It's, what do they call themselves?
The League of Malevolence?
Yes, I wasn't sure if what they were. Yes, it's so tacky. But that one, and he points to Charmaine, where she is there, like attempting to like hold court with a bunch of fae that do not care about her and trying to like look important and mysterious in the corner. Yeah, so she was with them, betrayed them for the hags. But yeah, the League of Malevolence still over there. So
we might have to go beat their ass too.
Yeah, probably. The main thing is just like Kellic, but I think if you could, I think if you can destroy these hags, it'll be easy with Kellic. There is something else that's there though, that is maybe not quite so easily dealt with as a hag or a League of Malevolence.
All right.
Would you like to know about it?
Yeah, if you're offering.
What are you offering?
Nothing, because you asked me if I wanted to know.
I will tell you if you give me something in return. I could also go ask Aurum. I'm sure that Aurum will. That was... Speaking of Aurum, that was... Did you see that Modron? I haven't seen one of those here in a very long time. They do not make it their business to come to the Feywild.
Yeah, I don't even know what one of those things are. So...
They're sort of like guardians of order and law. They tend to live in a place called Mechanus, or Mechanus, however you want to pronounce it. It's basically like law incarnate. Very icky. Very boring.
It sounds icky and boring. I won't lie.
Well, I just wanted to say that I'm very proud of you. And I know that it was probably not easy seeing your friends falling.
It definitely wasn't.
But what you've done by slaying the hags, and in fact, directly slaying one of them, has rekindled and preserved the light for many, many individuals. Far more than just the ones gathered here.
Well,
In fact,
in that,
it's paradigm change almost. I could go and I could collect all those lost items and maybe I should just go see them back to their owners.
that would be very nice of you.
You all won't be able to speak to me for quite a while if I go to do that. I just kind of wanted to give you that courtesy of letting
Oh
you know.
no!
No, you're going to miss me. What are you going to do without me?
Oh. Well, if you're gonna be gone for a while and there's something else that you need me to know or do, best tell me before you're off on your way, eh? And, don't take your time. It seems like a very important endeavor.
You're making me hard right now. Don't talk to me like that, Don, or I'm going to crash out! But in like a different way than expected.
I'm going to take a dive off of this rampart or whatever.
Nope, you're not. And he just like grabs you and he like is going to like put his hands on both of your shoulders and say, in all seriousness, the only thing that I want to impart upon you for whatever happens when you visit the Palace of Heart's Desire is that sometimes in the face of wretchedness, it can be very easy to think that a killing blow is the greatest mercy. And I would ask that you question that and perhaps decide if mercy can be given in other ways.
So you're telling me not to use the cool powers you gave me to smite someone?
Oh no, you should absolutely do that. And in fact, I think you should specifically do it on the League of Malevolence. Please, have your way with them. But I think there are other things there that you may find that may be confusing or upsetting or just very strange. Things that may seek to harm you, but are ultimately not a dire threat to you. And instead of choosing the mercy of violence, perhaps look for another way.
Alright. Way to inspire intrigue.
But if I just told you, it wouldn't really be...
Yeah, it wouldn't
exciting.
be interesting. You
Exactly. You're learning.
I'm sure, as much as it's helpful towards you, the most important thing is that it's entertaining, right?
Exactly. Look at you. You figured it all out.
Well, I'll keep an eye out for things that may seek to harm me, but not kill, that aren't the League of Malevolence.
I have the utmost confidence in your abilities to succeed in a successful way. That wasn't as eloquent as I
Yeah,
thought.
it really wasn't. But
I'm going to go make my rounds, if you will. I have a little bit of information for Saoirse, and I really just need to see how Aurum is feeling.
hopefully he feels sick, so he stops swallowing random things. That's not gonna stop him, never mind.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's really not. Hattie bye! And he is going to go over to...
When he says he just wants to see how Aurum's doing, what he really means is I want to go antagonize and poke at Aurum for a bit because it amuses me.
Yeah, I think he's going to go... Because, like... Saoirse, you were also playing instruments? Or no?
Yeah, she's got her dulcimer out, yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll kind of approach the two of you next, and like Sam, anybody can chime into this conversation or pop in and out as they want, but he'll kind of like slide on over and say, "Aurum, maple syrup. How's the astral plane? Twice. Did you like it? You know, your father spent a lot of time there. I think it's very fitting that you went there not once but twice."
I don't know what you're talking about. I was in a place with silver. Is that it?
Yeah, the place where it's sort of just like nothingness, but also like little pinpricks of like glowing light.
I saw a whale. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's the astral sea. That's a place where some can command ships to sail through the nothingness with the power of their mind and magic, which is something that your father did. Oh, he was so good at it.
That seems like I'd get a headache, I think.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't have to follow in his footsteps in that way. I mean, who am I to tell you what to do? How are you feeling after eating my hair? You didn't blow up. I thought
I
you
feel
were going
alright.
to blow up.
I feel alright. I don't know. I feel fine, I think. My fur is a little bit sticky and oily, but
Mm.
I don't have any problems.
I'm surprised you didn't try to eat one of the hats. You didn't think to take a little hair off of them or a fingernail.
They look like they taste gross.
But a dragon tooth tastes good.
Well, the dragon tooth
Exactly.
is powerful.
The hags were pretty powerful. I mean, they're not the most powerful thing by any means, but
We beat them.
barely.
No contest. We beat them. So
I'm pretty sure I almost died. I just feel like I need to put that out there.
Yeah, I
I did die.
would just like to let you both know that I think with a good kick of the horns or a headbutt, I couldn't potentially kill both of you right now. So I wouldn't be that overconfident in your skills.
I mean,
Or do be. I don't know.
I can't eat them now. They're gone. So
That's true. They did fall off the side because the base is thumping.
yeah. So it doesn't even matter anymore. Also, I just
Basis thumping is crazy.
I don't know.
We literally just groove bounced their bodies off the parapet.
Bye, bitches.
I just didn't think it'd be worth it. They're gross.
Do you think that whatever magic they have isn't worth absorbing? It's probably
No.
too dark. That's good. I'm glad that you have a sense of purpose in all of this eating of random things that makes it not so random. That's good. I'm proud of you.
I mean, I feel like their magic's not inherently their magic, right? They get magic from stealing things from other people, so
It's a little bit of column A, little bit of column B.
it's too complicated. I don't feel like dealing with it.
Fair
I
enough.
love him.
If it requires more than a second of thought, it's too much. I agree.
-2 on my
-2.
intelligence modifier.
What did Saoirse say? Anything that doesn't make me happy shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
It has to go. Okay. Just has to go.
Saoirse.
Sam, do you think I'm feral?
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, everybody! Do you all think that Saoirse is a little bit feral?
I mean,
Yeah, a little bit.
A bunch of cards are like, yeah.
Didn't you
Okay, but,
rip one of the witches
in an-
apart with claws?
maybe.
I mean, I approve.
I know, but I mean, inherently. See, the stupid Winter Fae thing that I summoned, he said that I'm not all spring, I'm also feral. And that, it's separate from my being spring, which doesn't make any sense. Because spring can be feral.
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't expect you to be able to summon
Well, yeah, that's
winter
why I was asking
at
him
all.
why he was here. And he was like, oh, because you're not just spring. And I was like, well, that's nonsense.
Well, you're
What did you summon
literally
now?
not spring right now.
I summoned a Winter Fae. Well, and then it turned into a Summer Fae, and then it turned back into a
Yeah.
Winter Fae.
What did they look like?
Scary. Well, the Summer Fae looked mostly just on fire and really bright and pretty, but then the Winter Fae looked scary and they turned into a bear. So I'm a little confused about that
And
as
a
well.
seal.
Yeah, and a seal. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. He was kind of hot, but also terrifying.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
He was
And he was really mean and said I was feral.
he was cold. He wasn't hot.
I
Attractive.
don't. Saoirse, I don't know about the feral thing, but you do like shift between all of the different
Sorrow.
seasons.
But I do, but only like my appearance, like who I am is still me.
Well,
It's
maybe
still because there are areas where the spring court sort of touches on the other, but we're still us. Like there's areas where it's sort of like early spring and it's still a little bit wintry,
But so
but it's still spring.
why are you so adamant that you can't also be something more?
Because I'm spring.
apparently not. And
I'm
well, you're not. You're spring
inherently
until
tied to
you're
the
winter,
spring court.
or until you get mad, and then you're summer.
Yeah, but again, it's just a reflection of sort of my mood.
But why would your
Being
moods
sort of-
be reflections of other courts?
Well, because it's not. It's sort of how those see each of the courts is sort of associated with a mood.
I know that we're not all. She's the local, but how much of this is us misinterpreting like Eladrin, and how much of this is her being in denial? Because I want to be fair.
You know, you can give me a nature check, you can give me an arcana check, you could give me
Arcana,
a history check.
I'll take an Arcana, please.
You
For
could also give an
200
insight
Alex.
if anyone wants to insight Saoirse.
Okay, Ego's. Hey guys, Ego's mostly focused on the
Nappy.
blood loss. That's a natural one for me.
Still
for
doing the
Arcana.
night.
Yeah. Ego, I think
We do have rerolls.
you do have rerolls if you want to use a reroll.
It's the same reason I didn't want to ask for it for the Dryad, like, because I want things to stand right now. There's no immediate.
No, Dice
threat
telling
of
the story, I totally
death,
respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, like, in this moment, like, the type of fae that Saoirse is so far removed from the things that you learned about growing up, and also just so different from most of the fae that you have encountered in your time here, that it's a little bit hard. It's hard to tell. Is Saoirse in denial? Am I misunderstanding the type of creature that she is? Is it some other thing? And I think you're just kind of like left with more questions than answers in this moment, and it's just deeply unclear to you.
I think that it's worth at least looking in. I mean, you still have to find
be winter, okay? I don't want to be winter or autumn or summer. I really don't want to be any of those things. I just want to be spring.
Okay, but you still need to find your true love, so why don't you try and learn a little bit of something about yourself while you do that?
Speaking of learning things, maybe about yourself, I do have a little bit of information.
I don't have your tree ready yet. I only just got back, and we kind of did this whole fight thing, and the tree, I haven't had time to work on it.
Darlin, a tree is going to take you quite a long time.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm letting you know, is it hasn't been very long for us, so...
I expect the tree to be done when it is ready to be done. I don't expect the tree to be done every single time that we talk.
I haven't even kind of asked them about it yet, so...
Well, so do you want to speak privately about this, or do you want the rest of your friends here to be privy to the information?
If you're going to proposition me again, Sam, I mean,
well, obviously,
I do adore you, but I don't think that that's going to happen.
Right, but what if we kind of got around it? I hear that there's this thing among mortals where if you do take the back door, it's not real. Like,
I don't know what that means, and I don't want to.
Right.
I know what it means.
Fine.
Ego leans over to ask Don what it means and to whisper in my ear.
I mean, I'm always going to...
Yeah, Don's gonna explain.
I just want to wait for my true love. I feel like it's going to be more of a powerful thing if I wait.
Fine. I then as a group, I'll share what I found out.
About what? I'm sorry, you didn't clarify at all. You
Spring.
asked me if I want it to be private and didn't ask me what you want to be
Spring.
private.
You want information about Spring, what's happening with the magic there, whatever the hell your mother is up to.
Yes.
Any of that.
No, that's fine. Well, I mean, maybe just us and not everyone.
Yeah, right. Hold on. And he just, like, raises a hand and these, like, giant dandelions will, like, bloom and basically, like, form a little, like, wall around you guys to, like, cut you off from the sound. There we go.
Fair.
So, couple of things. There is definitely something going wrong with the magic of the Spring Court. It is fading.
Right, I was there. I told you that.
So, I looked into that. And it would seem a little bit of research has been done by some of the scholars at the Spring Court. And I've spoken
We have
to them.
scholars?
Of course you do. All of you have scholars.
Oh.
Every court has scholars.
Listen, I don't read. I don't even know how to read.
Wow, do you hear that?
I mean, I could if I really wanted to.
I don't know how to read either.
So, there have been.
We go
there's
and
been
talk
some-
to look at each other with such dismay.
Like, if I tried to read, I would know how to. I just haven't bothered.
Your mother has had scholars and various agents of hers go out and look into this a little bit. And it would seem that in binding her firstborn child to this curse of Titania, she has also bound Spring to Titania. Unknowingly, perhaps, or knowingly. We're gonna get to that in a minute. But the longer that time goes on, and the more powerful you become, without filling the requirements of this curse, the more that Spring starts to push in towards. It's sort of like when you have oil and water and you like shake it up, and then at first they're all like little tiny beads, but then they begin to like bloop bloop form all together. It's sort of like little bits of Spring are starting to merge towards summer. And if your curse is to go unfulfilled and to be activated, and you fall into this eternal slumber, Spring will become summer. Or it will become fully the domain of, it will become fully under Titania's control. There will be no more Spring.
Wait, sorry. And I think the like temperature is dropping immediately in the vicinity of Saoirse. We're getting colder. The winter is taking over right now.
Winter's coming.
So wait. I can't even fall asleep. Like, I was worried about not ever waking up, but at this point you're saying that even if I just fall asleep, it's a problem.
If you fall into the magical eternal slumber of your curse,
Right.
Spring will go to summer. What happens after that point, because of course I will awaken you, remains to be seen. Your guess is as good as mine. Things can be done, things can be undone. So I'm not going to say that it will be like that forever, but it shall certainly be like that.
And if it's like that, it's going to ruin everything. It's going to ruin everything.
I mean, if you consider Spring ceasing to exist ruining everything, then yes, certainly.
Yes!
Aurum.
Is that how the Uncourt went away?
I cannot talk about that anymore. In fact, you all do have a tome that speaks to the history of the Uncourt on Ego's person right now. You could look into it from that. You have all the time. Well, you don't have all the time in the world, but you have more time now that there aren't hags actively trying to kill you.
Don't have time.
So, but the other piece of information that they have discovered is that has a little asterisk on it. The reason that Spring would not permanently, the reason that Spring would vanish into summer, if you are to fall into an eternal slumber, is because you are the heir to the Spring Court.
Right.
If there is another named heir to the Spring Court, and you are denounced, your title is revoked, Spring will be saved. And that's the other bit of information that your mother has found out, which leads me to the third bit that I can confirm for you, that your mother is in fact attempting to have another child.
And
it would seem that she seeks to secure the future of the Spring Court, one way or another.
Yep, that's great.
So she announced to the court that until such time as you are able to see your curse lifted, there will be a new heir to the Spring Court that is currently in the process of being created.
Looking over my shoulder, like looking like I'm giving her like the side eye, like ooh.
Ego,
That's great. You're gonna have a bigger family. It's
Ego
awesome.
whispers to Dawn, like, are they using the back door so it doesn't count?
They're definitely not.
Okay.
That's great. That's great. That's wonderful. That Spring Court's going to be just fine without me. Uh-huh. I love that. That's wonderful.
I think you need to talk to your father.
I would love to talk to my father, but the thing is that he's in the Spring Court, and I have to find my true love. So, speaking to him...
She's not making a child with him.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don physically, like, his mouth, he like... he goes, oh, I'm sorry.
So I think it might be helpful. His position and everything right now is a little bit strange. He is effectively leading the day-to-day operations of the court because your mother is indisposed. Because I don't know exactly how she's going about it, but this sister of hers is helping her to do something different. She said that her sister is helping to show her a way that she can have an heir that is truly of Spring.
Oh.
And that will preserve Spring in your impending absence. But she has not invited him to this process. He is ruling, and he has the wherewithal and might of an overcooked spaghetti noodle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's going about as well as you would think.
Yes. No. I'm so glad that she left him in charge. I love my father, but that was a whole choice. Yes.
Wait,
So
I'm really confused now. So is Saoirse
If
are
my
you
mother,
not fully Spring?
I am fully Spring.
What?
You're pissing her
did-
off.
Yeah, she did. She did kind of say. Was that a direct quote, or were you paraphrasing?
It is in fact a direct quote that your mother did announce to the court that she would be producing an heir that was truly and fully of Spring.
Right. So that makes me think you're not truly Spring.
Well, that's not the case. I'm sure you're misunderstanding what it is that she said. And there is a perfectly reasonable explanation.
I think there's a perfectly reasonable explanation too, but I just don't think you're gonna like what it is.
He pulls out like you know those old-timey record players with the big thing on it? Like whatever that thing is called. Gramophone.
It's a gramophone.
He just materializes one out of thin air, puts the needle on the record, and you hear your mother's voice saying, she's basically I guess what she would be saying to the court is, for a long time, the future of the Spring Court has been in question, as my daughter has been afflicted with a terrible curse by Titania. And unfortunately, as she gets closer and closer to doom of this curse, the fate of the Spring Court hangs in the balance. And so I have decided, as the Queen Mother of Spring, to name a new heir. An heir who is truly and fully of Spring, and of me. And with this heir named, and soon to be born, Spring will be saved, and will be protected from the reach of Titania. Should my daughter be able to relieve herself of this affliction, then the matter of inheritance of this court shall be revisited. But at this time, I declare Saoirse, daughter of Spring, renounced of her position as heir to the Spring Court. And he like fully plays out like deadass, like you hear your mom's voice, you hear the voices of like the Spring Court, like oh my gosh, and people are like gasping at like the absolute scandal that this is.
So, around Saoirse currently, it is hailing. And her whole features, everything about her has gained this like sharp edge to it. And she picks up the gramophone and she throws it violently at the ground.
Well, gramophone didn't.
Fine. Everything is fine. And we're going to ignore all of this.
I really.
All right.
Ow. I don't know if ignoring this is
It hasn't changed anything. The plan is still the same. I have to get to Zybilna. I have to find my true love and break my curse.
But like maybe
And
you should
then
talk to your
perhaps
dad, like
Sam and I
Sam
will
said.
kill my mother.
But like maybe you should talk to your dad, like Sam
How?
is saying.
I would love to know how you propose that we speak to my father, given that he is currently running the Spring Court and I am on a timeline.
Well,
apparently he's
first off,
not doing anything right now.
first off,
Right, but he's in the Spring Court and I am here.
I can work on a spell to talk, to talk to people from far away. That's possible. Second of all, we dealt with the hags. We can go free Prismere, and then we're not stuck here.
Right. But we have to speak with Zybilna first. So the plan is still the same as it has always been, which is we speak to Zybilna, I find my true love, and we break the curse. And then we don't even have to worry about speaking to my father because the curse is already broken, and then we just unseat my mother and I take over.
How
What are you
does
gonna do if she doesn't have the answer to your problem?
She
That's a good
does.
question.
Does she?
Yes.
But you said you were cursed by Titania, right?
Yes.
Who's Titania?
Queen of the Summer Court.
Queen of the Summer
Oh.
Court. Like, big fae on campus, or whatever.
Very
And
powerful.
why were you
very
cursed
powerful.
again? What did you do?
No, I didn't do anything. My parents did, and they cursed me. Well, Titania cursed me.
Yeah, but
No.
Zybilna was kind of like her and Titania were like kind of chill.
Titania, well, alright, Zybilna, Titania, the Queen of Air and Darkness, Zybilna's removed
Yeah.
from the entire system of courts. I believe that the Summer Court was seeking allyship or some sort of alliance with.
Yeah. They were
Zybilna.
okay. They were gonna be chill. Maybe.
But with her frozen in time, no alliance has been struck.
I know, but what if we take her out of being frozen in time and she's like, I gotta get back to Miss Titania and get that alliance going, And then you're like, hi, cursed by Titania, help me remove it.
Well, I have another
I'm not
question
asking her
relating
to
all
remove
of
it. I'm
this,
just
too.
asking her to tell me who my true love is.
That's helping you. Remove it.
Well, not directly.
So, my secondary question to all of this, now that we've learned more information, is Sam just said that if the longer it goes, you are taking all the power away from the Spring Court.
No. My curse is, but I am not.
Right. So your curse is, but if the Spring Court's power is being split between getting absorbed by the curse and this new kid, how does that work? The kid being named isn't going to change the fact that the curse is taking the power, right?
It will. That's the whole point of creating a
there
new
is-
heir.
If there is a new heir, then the power of Spring shall be
Goes to
assigned
them.
to that heir. And
So-
if Saoirse is stripped as an heir of her position, then she will have her own power, but it won't also be that she and Spring are inherently one and connected.
So would she still fall asleep if she didn't find her
Yes.
true love if the power is not being absorbed?
Yes.
It
Mhm.
just
Oh,
would-
yeah.
Yes, it just means that now they don't have to care.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I'm sorry. I'm here. I'm just figuring it out.
I love that. No, look, I'm here. I've been listening.
It would seem that this was a secret, Titania sure loves getting her perfectly manicured hands on a lot of things, including other
Dusty ass
courts.
nails.
She's very well manicured, I can assure you. But she likes to get her hands on whatever she can power-wise, and that includes lesser courts, as she calls them. And it seems that as a more seasoned ruler, she perhaps had a better understanding of what would happen by cursing the firstborn of the rulers of the court, thereby cursing the heir. It meant that she didn't just get you, she would get your court. Which makes perfect sense for Titania. And it would seem that now your mother has found a loophole of her own in all of this to protect Spring.
Sure, of course. But what is the loophole is the question, because she doesn't have a sister. So whatever she's just made a deal with is going to be probably just as bad as Titania.
I'll try to find out. This sister individual has been very hard to spot. All I know is that her name is Miserine.
All right.
I like that name.
Right? It's very unique.
Well, find out what you can, because obviously we're going to have to deal with her as well.
For what it's worth, I recognize you as the heir of the Spring Court. Your mother's decrees be damned. She's not in charge of me.
That is very true.
And he holds out a hand because he'll go to basically do the little hand kiss.
Yes, she'll let him. She'll let him. She needs it.
And gives you an excessively dramatic bow that takes a solid minute. Well, sorry for the bad news,
All right.
but I found some of what you were asking for, and I'll try to see what else I can find out about this sister. Was there anything else that anyone wanted to ask? I know you all love making deals with me.
Did you say that my dad was in the Uncourt?
He just said he can't talk about that.
I'm being very careful. Your father
Your dad did a little bit of revolution.
was a peerless mercenary who may have been hired by certain individuals that were wiped from existence.
I want to read this book, but I don't know how to read.
I'll read it to you later.
Okay,
We
great.
can read it. We can read it together after we
Okay.
get all this done.
Well, I got a feeling that something in that book might help.
Of course.
Books always help.
There are more black books as well. In fact, I believe there are at least 2 more here in Prismere.
I'll
One
be
for each
looking
daughter
for
of
them.
Baba Yaga.
Yeah. I need them anyway. They have answers.
Well, if that is all, then I shall take my leave.
Thank you, Sam.
You are welcome, Saoirse, Princess of Spring. It's just a little bit feral, just a little bit wild.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Maybe if there is something feral about you, why not? I mean, it's kind of what everyone else has been saying, but why not just say, "Fuck Spring for now. Let's embrace
Sam.
Whatever is wild. I mean, you could. I mean, I could.
Are you tipping your hands a little bit?
I think it might be interesting. It might be interesting to, if you've been renounced, return that in kind. Reciprocity is the name of the game for the Fae, is it not? Just
Sure.
a suggestion, if I may.
Oh,
make
you could say that your mom's not a part of the spring court anymore. Counter argument.
Oh, that's the plan, is to make sure she's not part of the spring court anymore. Or, anything. But I'm curious about your offer, Sam.
Of which one?
I'm just curious.
To fuck spring?
About... Sam, we've already had this conversation many times. I will not be fucking you. But I'm just curious about your ideas.
Not my idea. In fact, I think that you can thank your friends here for that, for suggesting that it is, something that could be there, that you could explore. I can't speak on it, but I am of the opinion that whatever
you can speak on it, Sam. You don't belong to any court.
You're correct. But I am a deep, true believer in reciprocity. And if what you have found out here and what you have heard has caused you dismay, what else is there to do but see that returned?
What if we made our own court?
You wish to stay in the Feywild for eternity.
I mean, you guys don't stay here forever. You go other planes sometimes.
Well, not really. Maybe aspects of us.
For a full-fledged archfey, it is very difficult to leave. Just like it's very difficult for a full-fledged archfey to just give freebies. The more powerful you get and the bigger your domain becomes, the more rules you have to abide by, in a way. But Saoirse should be fine to go to the material plane. You're not fully there yet.
I'm good.
If you all were to stay in the Feywild, I really couldn't... I have no idea what would happen to you. Perhaps you'd become Archfey, perhaps you would turn into little flowers.
In order to be members of the court, you'd have to become Archfey.
What if we made a court that wasn't Archfey?
I mean...
Now you're saying some very revolutionary things, and I would be very, very mindful of who you say that around and how often you speak it out loud.
I'm just saying, they say anything's possible here, and now you're saying things are not possible. That's impossible.
Well, anything is possible. There's just ways that you have to go about it.
My name is Aurum, and I declare that I am starting my own court.
No.
Sam tries to clap a hand over your mouth and grab.
Yeah.
And
you really got to be more careful about the things that you say.
I start strumming the yarning really, really loudly.
Aurum. And he has a vice grip on your mouth, he has you clamped shut. Making declarations like that here is not something that is said willy-nilly. When you declare something like that, it becomes real here. This is a place of feeling and belief and dreams. And when you make statements like that, they can have far-reaching consequences that ripple out far beyond you and through time and space in ways that you will never understand. So be very careful making declarations like that. And he lets go of your mouth.
But I already just started.
No, but just don't stop. Don't
finish. Just don't finish. Just leave it unfinished. And if you want to finish it later or restart, when you maybe have a better understanding of things.
I need you to understand that at the very, very least, saying that thing will put a target on your back from every single ruler of every single court.
I'm not scared of any of them.
You should be.
Well,
that's
yeah.
Great. I am. And I don't think we can hang out more.
I really can't have Titania doing anything else to me right now. I think I'm set.
Aurum, for somebody who has a lot to say to other leaders about the quality of their leadership, I do find it rather interesting that you would attempt to do something that would have direct, dangerous consequences for all of your friends here.
Well, it would be the free for it.
But do you really want Clover to be under the ire of Titania or the Queen of Air and Darkness? Do you really think that that's
Clover
a good
didn't
idea?
say she was a part of my court.
But she would be
being
a
associated
witness.
with you.
She is associated with you and would be a witness to it. And
Interesting.
as I have hopefully already communicated, there are ways to make things unmade that go beyond just killing the people that did the thing. There is a way to remove ideas, and what better way to remove an idea that you just had than to kill all of your witnesses?
Yeah.
And
And
make it so
Titania
you
is
truly
definitely
never
the burn
were.
it all down sort. She's not gonna just take care of the one problem. She's going to take care of everything around the problem as well.
So, what if we just killed her?
Okay, but maybe we move on to a new.
This is a great
topic of
conversation. I'm so glad we ended it.
Yes,
We
I'm not
just
saying
focus
it's
on
impossible.
saving Sibylna first.
please, can we focus on getting to
Yes.
the palace as quickly as possible?
Red's trying to get us a kill.
I shall take my leave. It may be some time before I see you all again. I wish you luck.
Take your time.
Goodbye, friend.
Don't miss me too much, Dawn.
I definitely will not.
I will.
Dawn, I just want you to know that every single time you feel your palms itching, it's because I'm having lewd thoughts about you. Goodbye!
Oh no!
He vanishes into like a little puff of
Oh no!
colorful smoke and like dandelion petals and cheerful fiddle music.
Oh no!
But
Got
yeah,
some Baldur's
Okay.
Gate 3 nonsense in there.
So there's been some new information gathered. The Fae here are having a party. If you want to talk to anybody, you have literally all of your NPCs gathered here. So if there's any other conversations you want to have with anyone, feel free. Otherwise, what do you guys want to do?
I'm not talking to
Jesus.
anybody. Saoirse is done talking to people. Everybody she has tried to talk to has gone badly.
She's
So we're
like,
just
you guys
gonna
keep telling me things that I don't like.
no, all bad things.
I think Clover was gonna check the mask room next.
Okay, you surely can. 1 second. Come on,
Making
Dion,
sure there's
I
no
believe in you.
prisoners in there too.
Yeah. So you step into the mask room. The walls of this room are adorned with wooden masks, most of which look like shocked and scared goblin faces. Dozens of masks hang neatly from hooks on the walls, and several more are stowed haphazardly on the shelves of an old bookcase. 2 padlocked cages stand in a far corner. One is occupied by a very downtrodden, sad, actively crying goblin. The other is empty. In the middle of the room, there are 2 copper poles 10 feet apart descending from the 8-foot-high ceiling. Each pole has a 1-foot diameter copper sphere at the end of it, 3 feet off of the floor. And between the poles, there's a thin, tall chair with shackles. And resting on this chair, you can see is a singular mask of a scared goblin visage. And the chair is situated such that the spheres would be approximately level with the head of any individual that was sitting there. You would also see that there is a lever that juts out from the wall in here. Yeah, and that's all you see.
Is anything actively magical or
Yes.
active?
All of
Yeah.
the masks are magical.
Okay.
It's transmutation magic on all of these masks. These are the same masks that you saw embedded into the body of the Jub Bird as well. And when they were
Okay.
on the Jub Bird, they were mostly giving off like the cluster of them was giving off abjuration, but now that you can see them as individual items, they're actually transmutative magic.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's just like a goblin woman in one of the cages just like crying. And like she starts when you come in and it's like, no, please. Oh.
Hey.
Oh.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Clover. Who are you?
I'm Vig.
Vic.
Turn me
Okay.
into a mask. Please, I don't wanna.
These are
Sorry.
These are all people or creatures? Do you know?
Anytime somebody irritates Bitter End, she turns them into masks.
Is there a way to turn them back?
Well, I know that, please don't destroy them. Please,
No,
if you
no,
break
no,
them, if you break them, they'll never come back.
Okay.
They turned right before one of the elders was in here, and turned my friend Binky. Binky's gone, and she points to the mask that's on the chair. They turned Binky into a mask. But then they left suddenly something about some sort of a battle, and they just left me in here.
I am so sorry you had to watch that and you're alone. You're not alone anymore. It's okay. The hags won't hurt you anymore. They're dead. All 3 of them.
Really?
Yeah, really.
How? It's unbelievable. How is that even possible?
I don't know. It was a lot of work.
Well, Binky and I got brought in here because, we worked the cranes in, behind the stage to bring up the big props.
Uh-huh.
And then we accidentally dropped a backdrop while there was a performance going on, and we destroyed it and ruined the whole set, and Endlet got really mad.
Okay.
You should just leave me to my fate.
No, that's not what we're doing. Do you know if there was a key to your cage? Do you know?
Let me look. I think the Darkling Elders had it.
Are they the ones partying upstairs?
Yeah, they came back in and were like, hey, so like, can we just forget that this all happened?
Yeah, fair. Yeah, and Clover was like, absolutely. Use against your will.
Okay. I will be right back. I will go talk to the elders. They're upstairs partying with everybody. There's a big celebration.
But if Endelin's gone, does that mean I don't have a job anymore? I like working at the theater.
How about one step at a time, and let's worry about getting you out of that cage, okay?
Is Stage Fright still the master of ceremonies?
Have I heard that name?
Yeah, with Charmaine. That was the goblin that was with Charmaine.
Oh, the one with Charmaine?
I hate Charmaine.
Yeah, she was kind of a bully.
Yeah, she's always bragging about betraying the League of something or other, and she's so mean to all the goblins, and she kicks us around. She, like, really hates goblins.
Okay. Well, I don't think she's very popular from what I saw before I left the party. But I'm gonna go get a key, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Deep breaths. Keep breathing. Don't stop.
I'll go back to the party and look for these freaking darklings and actually let my party know, because, like, if this doesn't work, I'm gonna need their help.
The party's kind of been soured on me for a bit. I'll go with, because I have the chime of opening.
Yeah, that would work faster, huh?
Besides, I think I need a little bit of quiet.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Can I come with?
Yeah, whoever wants to come. She said we can't destroy the masks. They're people, like other creatures that she turned into masks. She's really traumatized because she watched her friend in the chair. So
Yeah, well, I might be able to do something to help. I'm not sure exactly, but
yeah, it'd be cool if we could turn them back. I mean, there has to be a way, right?
I have some sort of restorative magics that might be able to help.
Let's
So
try.
I could do dispel magic maybe tomorrow after a short rest, but I've been moving nonstop, so I haven't had a short rest yet.
Let's see what we can do.
Okay, I'll take
Let
everybody.
everybody else celebrate.
Is
Yeah,
everybody
so
coming?
Yeah, sounds like it. Is Aurum coming?
I wandered off.
You wandered
I wandered
off?
and went up the stairs.
The other cat
Okay,
wanders
we're gonna-
off.
We're gonna come back to you in a second.
Yeah.
Let's resolve some mask stuff right now. So the four of you then can go back to the mask collection room. And you would see this goblin named Vig. She is trapped in the cage, and she's just breathing very aggressively.
That's not how I said to breathe. That's not how I left her, I swear.
I was alone again, and I got stressed out.
It's okay. It's okay. Hold your breath for 2 seconds and then let it out. 1, 2, out. Again. 1, 2, out. Slower.
I feel a lot less lightheaded now.
Yeah, that will happen. I can say from experience that happens. Don't do that.
But yeah, so the group of you sees all of these masks adorning the walls here, hanging down. Endelyn really seems to have a penchant for just cluttering her walls with shit. Whether it's puppets, hourglasses, or masks. I will shift ping so that you guys can. Pink.
Do I get the feeling that a restoration would help with one of these?
You know what? Rules is written, no, but I'm gonna say yes. However, you're gonna have to do the same DC check as a Dispel Magic for it.
Okay.
So it's yes, but you need to
Right.
you really
Right.
feel like you have to be focused and channeling it. That Lesser Restoration's 3rd level?
Second
level, okay. If you upcast it at 3rd level, that would lower the DC a lot.
I don't think I have any 3rd level, but I did just get a 4th level spell slot.
You can use a 4th level, that will make it a DC 10. Normally for a Dispel Magic, this is a DC 19 on these masks. On an individual one.
I can help because I have 4th
Then I
level
can
dispel
only do-
magic as well.
But then I can only do one.
If you give me an hour to rest, I can do 2 more, and then an hour, and then 2 more, and just keep going.
We level Warlock.
Level Warlock, and it's a 4th level dispel.
So, how would it work, GM, if
Yes.
I wanted to maybe do some big magic and
Oh boy.
see if Clover wanted to help?
Okay.
Okay.
And so what are you trying to do with the big magic?
Restore all of these masks.
Okay.
Make it all just one check.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Otherwise,
You
it's going to take us
definitely-
30 years to get all
Yeah,
of these.
there's hundreds of masks in here.
Yeah.
Oh, also, you know what? There's an addition to this room that, again, is a war thing that is not. So there's also on this little side table over on the left side of the room. You can see that there are a variety of surgical implements and ill wish stones.
Oh boy.
She was
So-
because we found them inside the things that attacked us at the end.
Yeah.
So, yes, as for big magic, we can absolutely do that. Let me pull up the thing. So. Yeah, this is definitely a pretty big thing that you guys are doing. Just because it's we're talking literally hundreds of people.
Right.
Which
So-
is why Saoirse's maybe we do it together if we
If
can
you-
pool
So
our
if
magic.
if you guys if ego helps as well as it's the 3 of you who can do dispelling and restoration magic, If
Right.
the three of you worked on it all together, I'm gonna say that's gonna be. If it's just Saoirse, it's the 8 levels up. If it's Clover and Saoirse, it's 6 levels up. If it's the 3 of you, it's 4 levels up. So the 4 of you, you would just need to roll between a 65 and a 100 on a percentile to mass dispel / restore all of the masks that are here.
Yeah, I have the 4th level spell slot to help.
Are you in, Clover?
I mean, that's without a question. You didn't even need to ask her. She was already like prepared to like do it every hour.
Yeah, well, while you guys come up with that like plan, Ego's like, we could try to shape the magic, not necessarily to just focus on a mask, but focus on the magical process that made them, in which case you would target all of them at the same time.
Yeah, I do like a ritual.
Hey,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We can definitely do that. Clover. Okay, so Ego is kind of like contributing the like the arcane like theory
Expertise,
behind
yep.
it.
Yep.
Clover, are you kind of just supplying like raw magic spell slots?
Yeah, I'll use both my spell slots if I have them.
Okay,
She's got the most magic remaining, yeah.
And then is there anything in particular that Saoirse wants to do for this process, or is you're just kind of like the one channeling all of the magic into this?
I think Saoirse is reaching into. She's feeling kind of spicy right now, just in general. So I think she is reaching into that sort of primal vibe that she's got. She's like digging real deep, I think, to pour some of that into it. So she'll play some music, and it's not her usual style of music for sure, to kind of focus the magic.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so
and I can like druid craft some like spell component-y type stuff because she knows how to make all of those magic mushrooms. Mushrooms that are magical, not magic mushrooms.
For sure. Yeah, you can totally do that, and like you can almost like maybe you guys make like a mushroom circle, like a fairy ring around this chair.
Wait, I also have druid craft. Oh my god.
Yeah, we can make some like little fairy rings.
Yeah.
And, like,
your little campestry guy who has been with you this entire time.
Yeah, my buddy.
He comes out of like a pocket and he's like, "Oh, I haven't been able to breathe for 3 days," and he jumps down and just starts like, "You don't have to be beautiful to turn me out," and he just starts like in a really high falsetto. It's like helping you guys like summon a bunch of mushrooms in a circle there. So
and it's a bunch of 4-leaf clovers because I'm cliche like that.
Yeah.
Cute. I'm just like imagining the fairy circle. And there's like some like funky witchy looking mushrooms too. There's like some cute like Disney character, mushrooms. Yeah. There's some like funky witchy ones. There's some like little 4-leaf clovers.
Like rotting meat. There's like
love those ones.
Yeah.
So just to confirm that I'm doing this right, so it would be the D100 roll and then a D6 for the, or no.
It's a D100 for consequences too.
Okay, I didn't know what the difficulty 5 to 6, like failure 5 to 6 success versus 1 to 4.
So the 5 to 6 is like how many levels above.
Oh, okay.
That depending on how many levels above is whether it's minor or major consequences.
Yeah, because if you said it was normally DC 19, then we're technically calling on doing something that would be 9th level, and we're using 4, so it would be in.
So this is major. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But if we're doing something that's like, maybe we just don't have a spell slot and we're trying to cast a spell, that's not something, that's a minor consequence.
Yeah. Okay, so then roll a D100. Please.
72.
Okay, so that is a success. Give me another D100. Actually, all 3 of you give me a D100.
No,
Fair.
I wanted to take it all.
That's not how this works. Hang on, let me get these dice out.
82.
Okay.
Where's my
I feel like if you look at the chart and you're like, this is like weird, I do feel like Elliot at one point had pointed out that I had done something weird with the numbering, or like it should be I think it was one of the charts should have been the opposite way, where it's like high consequences, the high numbers should be positive consequences and the low numbers should be negative consequences or something like that. I don't remember, and I never ended up fixing it. So if you look at it and you're like, this doesn't make any sense, feel free to like rejigger it.
And I think the one that I'm looking at makes sense. Okay, so we got an 82 for Saoirse, we got an 87 for Ego. What do we get for Clover?
I think it's really bad. It's a
Okay.
00 and a 5.
That's
So that's a 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I re-roll? I don't know if that's good or not.
So D, oh my god, okay.
I feel
Should
like
I
that's
re-roll?
worth a reroll.
Okay, so Saoirse, as you set off this like incredible like flow of magic to all of these masks that are in this room, you feel that it takes and that it's successful and that you're able to, almost like the way that Endelyn has scissors that you would use to snip people's shadows off. It's almost like you're like taking scissors like from Ego, but also like cat's claws and also like your own teeth and claws, and like in an arcane way, like just slashing at these like magical binds that have like separated these people's physical forms and like put them into these masks. And one by one, all of these masks just poof, 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 and like hundreds of people just start pouring into this room magically.
Yeah!
It gets very crowded very quickly. It's largely goblins, but there are like a mix of other kinds of people here. Everyone's very confused and very scared, but also like very relieved, because for them, the last moment that they had was being blasted with magic and turned into a mask. So they're like, what? You feel completely spent after that. You have lost roll. I'll roll it forward. For the next 6 seconds, you don't have any magic, Saoirse. Ego, the same thing. You're kind of there, like calling upon like this darkness, and like I think you're also like helping to like guide the flows of magic that Saoirse is like channeling through the both of you. You're like making sure that like it's staying targeted to the thing that was done to these people. You also lose magic for 6 seconds as you feel completely spent by this process. Clover, are you re-rolling?
You should. It's a 5.
Should I re-roll? Is it really
You need
bad?
to reroll. Yeah. It's gonna be real bad. This is big, big, big magic.
Like, I don't want you to be like, you lost magic permanently.
Yeah.
Or you die. That is on the chart.
Oh
You
my
just
god,
straight
do
up
I just
die.
Honestly,
die?
if she died, we have a unicorn tier. That wouldn't be the worst, but it would be traumatizing and fucked up.
I don't know. I feel
What's your
bad
gut tell you
because
to do?
like not even 20 minutes
You can also
ago,
have, like, a
Ink was like,
permanent
let's
stat
let
drop.
the dice tell the story, and now I feel inauthentic if I don't let the dice tell the story.
Then we'll
up to you.
deal with
It's up to
it.
you. It is your choice.
You have not been told what the
I know.
I am
What's the
choosing
result
not
then?
to tell you until you give me what your executive decision is.
like. I didn't want to do a reroll for the druid because I knew what I knew what I would be possibly avoiding, and I wanted
Right.
to just be.
Yeah. No, that's valid. I think I'm gonna keep it simply because, one, she doesn't have her full shit back. And this is so on brand for Clover.
Okay.
So let it be.
So Clover, like the three of you are all really into it, but I feel like it's safe to say that in terms of just like pure compassion for the people here, Clover is leading the pack on that. Like, she is the one who is doing this because she like feels for this goblin that was like alone because her friend had been turned into a mask, and also for all of these other people that were alone in their final moments that were also then filled with fear. And I think you reached like to the deepest part of yourself and channel everything that you have into this. And you feel it takes, and you feel like all of these people, and you hear them and see them like bursting forth, and you know that it's successful. And then you have this like ripping sensation inside of you. Like being under a warm, cozy blanket when you wake up in the morning, and then having that blanket ripped off of you. And I think you start to weep. Like physically, like tears start streaming down your face. You have permanently lost your magic. That connection, that little sense of like something watching you, or like a little cat like trailing behind you, is gone. That sense that you, even if you were alone, you were never really alone because you had this connection to like the stars and this being.
Yeah.
I think for the first time since that happened, you have that sense of like your physical person is truly alone again. I mean, you have your friends here, but like you don't have a companion with you. A 5 is permanent magic loss on the major consequences success table.
Yep. Okay. I don't think Clover gets back up. I think she's just on the ground.
Yeah, you feel extremely weak. All of like this potential that was always at your fingertips and was oftentimes very like connected to your emotion, that like I think in a way maybe like gave you a sense of agency with like some of the big feelings that you would have, because it's like, you know, someone might be doing something terrible and it hurts me and it hurts other people, but at least I can do something about it. And that sense is gone, and you feel extremely mundane and extremely weak.
Clover?
Yeah.
Clover? Oh. You're okay?
No.
No, what do you mean?
They're gone.
The spell worked. The masks are coming undone. The people are free.
So good. So good. That's good.
But
it's good.
who's gone?
I don't even know their name. Luna? All of them?
You gave the things from the witches away. They were gonna come back.
I don't think they can. I don't think they can. I don't think they're coming back.
They're your protector, Clover.
It's different this time. It's not even muffled. It's gone. It's really gone.
They pushed you too hard.
No, I did. I did. I should make sure these people get out of here.
I'm already working on that. Don't you worry about it.
Can you stand?
Yeah, it takes her a bit, but she gets to her feet.
As you stand up, your wings feel extremely like weak and limp. And you kind of like shuffle your shoulders, and you realize that like these wings that had been on your back are costume. They're not real anymore. Just like the wings that were given to you when you came to the carnival. The fairy magic that was within you is also gone.
I dropped them to the floor.
So is she back to being like what she was before, or did she just not lose the?
So her face remains the same. She still has like the cat ears and the tail and like the purpley kind of like hair and everything, because she has that is her face now, but like the magic of being a fairy is gone, and her warlock magic is gone. I think we're gonna put a little pin in that, and we're gonna go over, because that's a lot. We're gonna go over to Aurum. Aurum, you went upstairs, right?
Yeah, I noticed the stairwell that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
walked over to this stairwell.
Yeah, you surely can. This is another room that is just like choked with props and like costumes, and is just has completely like no order, no rhyme or reason to it. Anything is set up. In this room, in particular, you would find some oddities that like I guess like just stand out or like are a little bit different from some of the other things. Are a 3-foot-high plaster pedestal on which perches a small leering gargoyle, a gilded throne with a small iron key that is like badly hidden under the seat cushion, like it's sticking directly out, and you have a high enough passive that you would like immediately see it. And a small wooden cradle with a baby goblin doll in it, and it has like a little key sticking out of its neck.
I'm gonna grab both the keys.
The key is like in the doll. Like it's like one of those keys that you have in like a wind up that's not a key that comes out.
Okay.
But the other key under the chair is.
Alright, I'm gonna open the chair to see if there's like a place for me to unlock a hidden chest or something.
Sorry, can you repeat that? My brain just completely like a lot of stuff just happened. What?
Well, the key
Yes.
is in the chair, right? So I'm gonna like
take that one.
I wanna like flip the cushion off the chair. I'm looking for like a hidden chest or something. Now I have a key that I gotta figure out how to use.
So you roll me a history check.
History is not something I'm good at. 5.
Yeah, like you don't see any sort of a chest in here, and you're racking your brain, and you just like can't really remember like if you found anything like that. It doesn't seem like there's anything in this room that this key will open. But you have it now. You have that key.
Alright. This the only cool thing in the room is just the key?
Yeah, I mean like there's like random props that you can just like find. If you like literally like if you want it and it could reasonably exist in a prop storage room, you can find it and have it if you would like.
I'm alright. I'm just gonna take the key and ponder this and look for my friends.
Okay. When you head back to the party, nobody is there. I think asking around like enough, the various fae that are assembled here could tell you that like, oh yeah, they went into that like library room, into some room like beyond that. Like Clover probably mentioned that like because she mentioned to the rest of the party that she needed help in the mask room. So they would say like, yeah, we overheard something about a mask room.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. And they like fall over and pass out, drunk.
I've only been here for 5 minutes.
I had 7 beers in that time.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I'm a pixie as well. So having 7 full-sized beers is not great.
Jesus.
But yeah,
That
you
is
can head
not
over.
physically possible.
So you yeah, and I think as you enter into the library, like the librarian goblins are like deeply confused as just like dozens and dozens of people are like clown car pouring out of this hallway up here.
And now I'm like,
Yeah, you're like pushing against the crowd. But you enter into this mask room as like the final like 20-30 people are poofing into existence and then being escorted out by Saoirse. Saoirse, I think you'd probably be the first one. Well, Dawn is like in the room with all of this, right?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
kind of just been like, oh.
So then I think Saoirse is probably the first person that sees Aurum because you're like helping to get people out, so you have eyes on the door.
I found a key.
We freed a bunch of people, and Clover's really sad.
Oh. Clover, why are you really sad? What happened?
I lost it. I lost them.
You would see that she does not have wings on her back anymore.
You lost your wings?
That too.
I'm confused. What do you mean by them?
Luna. And my patron. They're gone. It's all gone.
Well, that's not good. You want my magic? I can give you my magic.
I don't think it works like that.
Really? You can have all of it. I just want
I don't-
stuff, so...
I don't want your magic. Or, it's not the same.
We'll just have to find them.
Yeah!
You
Maybe
found them once before.
more like he found me.
Well,
Alright.
Zybilna can help us find them. That's sort of our thing.
It's true.
Yeah, of course.
Hey,
I mean, I can give you magic from the spring court, but I don't think you're gonna like that any better than Aurum's magic.
it was her magic, you guys. It's very personal. But also, you saved all those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you wanted.
Yeah, this is what I wanted.
Hmm.
It is. I'll be fine. We'll find them, right?
Yeah, we'll find them. But maybe
Yeah.
next time don't do quite so much.
Yeah. Still haven't learned my lesson.
Hey. You were my first and only friend before you ever had magic.
Yeah, of course. Of course you are.
We'll get it back.
Mhm.
I mean, we came here in the first place because we lost something, right?
Right.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
Besides, I don't think that you really know just how many people you help. And I'll go into one of my many bags. I'll take the heart seed.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Her name was Meadowleaf, because I forget that every time.
Yeah.
I had it. I wrote it.
Okay, good.
Meadowleaf says thank you too. Everywhere you've gone, a lot of the people that came here to help us fight are because you helped them. And you saved my life. That was the big one, you know?
Yeah. That was a scary one. Be okay, Ego.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that mean she's gone too? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Despair can be very powerful. I think I probably know it really well. But I don't want to see that happen to you. Can you promise me that? It doesn't need to be a Fae promise.
Do my best.
Okay. Apparently, there's some guys that we're gonna have to fight at the castle, but
Maybe.
maybe?
There's no guarantee. I mean, the
What
League
about-
of Malevolence is malevolent, but if we beat the hags, there's a chance that they might not want to, throw hands with us. It probably wouldn't go very well.
Well, either way, I'm really tapped out. I'd like to try and enjoy the partying. We did promise it.
Yeah, we did.
We could just go back to the inn and get some rest. I mean, I'm usually up for a good party, but I think I'm kind of done right now.
Can we have
I want to get back to my tree.
And the party's going on, so our end of the bargain is fulfilled.
Yeah, there's
No
a
one
lot
said
of
we-
people
yeah.
in there. A lot of the pixies are already passing out.
Can we have like a chill, low-key party at the inn? Just us?
Sure.
And by me.
I don't know what a chill, low-key party looks like. Most of the parties I go to look like that, but
Like smoking?
whatever that means,
Do you smoke?
I do
Ew.
not.
Okay, well, I'm gonna smoke.
Okay, sure. I don't.
Ego's had a pipe the whole time. I smoke it whenever we're in
Had a
the
pipe the whole time.
Oh my god.
Just so you all know, I sort of made it. I told you guys I made a deal with Sam, right?
I think
Yeah.
so.
I have to sort of put a bit, just a like tiny fragment of my soul into the tree for him. He said that if you all wanted to contribute, you're all welcome to do so as well. We've made sort of some caveats on the deal that he will be keeping the tree safe from harm, in any way, shape, or form as well. But it's sort of a backup plan.
Are you telling them the name part, the true name part, or are you keeping that close to the chest for now?
I don't know that Saoirse feels like that's relevant information for everybody.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you guys remember when she came back after being with Sam for a bit, she had like a little pot
sapling.
with like a little sapling in it.
Yeah.
Fine. I mean, there's things that we can do. We need to.
And you don't have to do anything. This is my thing, so
Yeah.
I'm perfectly capable of taking care of it and everything. But he said that it will be more powerful to more people who contribute.
That's fine. We gotta plant that heart seed. We should check on our friends. I mean, there was like a whole battle. I gotta find those books. We need to read those books for Aurum's sake. We don't need to.
Plan?
We still got a couple things we gotta do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So the group of you can depart from Motherhorn. All of the Fae are like cheering for you all, like as you leave, and like cheering your names, like calling you heroes, and like coming up with all these like amazing like little names for you guys, like they're like, yeah, like Dawn the Slayer, like Aurum the Unpredictable, and I think like for Saoirse, I think they would call you. I think they would call Saoirse. They would call her the Wild, because she's been all of these different groups of people have seen her in a variety of different moods. For Ego, they're like calling you like Ego the Mysterious, and like for Clover, for you, they're like all hail like Clover of the Eternal Sunshine. Like they just like are like lauding you for like your joy and cheer and everything. Even though in this moment, I think Clover might not be quite there.
She's definitely got. She's trying to force a fake smile, but it's very despondent.
Yeah. And they will see you all out. You can head back down the pathway. And at the end of the road, obviously, like, it couldn't come up into the castle, so it's there on the battlefield. There are a couple other Fae who are, like, individuals that you have recruited who are maybe not super, like, party-minded that are out here on the battlefield cleaning up. Black Donald is eating corpses.
Good
He's
for
still
him.
a bone. He's a bone devil, and he's just unhinging his jaw and, like, shoved. He's just like, goblin body, yes. Like a Briganock, yummy, like little popcorn Briganocks, like all the like he's just eating corpses. He's helping to clean up.
Okay.
And you can go back to the inn at the end of the road. You can see that Sue has kind of like turned the whole layout in here is a little bit different right now. It's very like open concept. She's got like a little desk and counter off to the side with all of her kitchen stuff, but instead of like the hallway and then the door to the common area, it's just open common area. There is still a staircase like going up through the middle, but you can see everything a lot better. And there's like a couple individuals that are like bandaged up in here, eating like warm bowls of stew and fresh scraped like fluffy, crusty bread, and getting some healing from Sue. And she would like whip around. She has those like big, crazy, like gray, curly hair. And she looks at you and says, well, oh my gosh, I am so glad to see all of you made it out in one piece. Congratulations! Clover, she looks at you immediately and like she sees I rolled a nat 20 insight check on her as we were leading up to this. And she just looks at you and says, oh honey. And she will run over and if you are willing, just grabs you into this big hug.
I think up until this point, she hasn't shed a tear, and the moment that Sue engulfs her, she lets go.
And she doesn't say anything, she's just like shushing you and like rubbing your back in that very like when you're a little kid and your mom just like hugs you and it's like it's
which makes it worse, and she cries harder. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Sue will just hold you there in a hug for as long as you want, doesn't ask any questions. Eventually we'll break apart and still kind of like has her hand on your back and is just rubbing your back. Any of y'all need healing? I got a fresh batch of stew cooked. I can make some boysenberry tarts if you want. Y'all look a little bit worse for wear.
Stew would be good.
Would like some boysenberry tarts. I want you to just manifest those for me right now.
And that's why.
Sounds amazing.
You wanted some apple pie?
Yeah.
Any other requests? Please, you can make whatever you want. If I can make it in my kitchen and I can make a lot of things, I will do it for you.
I don't have any other requests.
I don't know a lot of food, Miss Sue.
How do you want to feel right now? How are you feeling? How do you want to feel?
I want to feel really full.
Pot roast.
Oh, fuck.
Pot roast and
Honestly,
Clover.
that actually sounds perfect. I think that is what Ego would want.
scallop potatoes. Aurum, honey, you want anything in particular? Or does that all just sound good? You want some stew? What do you want? I can make whatever you
I'm
need.
good with stew.
All right. Well, let me know if you need anything. I'll have it up to your rooms in give me an hour. All right. Yeah. I've got the stew and the boysenberry tarts are almost done, so that'll be ready. Shortly. But the other things, just give me a little bit of time and I'll cook it for you. But everybody's kind of at the party. We just got a couple folks here that are resting, so feel free to hunker down by the fire or go to your rooms or just let me know if you need anything.
Is Moby Richard here?
Yeah, Moby Richard and Baja's not really one for parties. So Baja and Moby Richard I think they're up in their room right now.
Okay, I need to get something real quick from them, and then I'll come back down to eat.
Yeah. If you go to the top of the stairs, end of the hallway, there should be a door with a pelican on it. I would knock on that one if you want to talk to him.
Thank you, Miss Sue.
Of course. You're quite welcome. And she will get to work in the kitchen. She'll within a few minutes, all of you have little bowls of stew and some bread and some boysenberry tarts delivered to your rooms. And within the hour, she will provide. She also has pot roast. She's got scalloped potatoes. She's got collard greens going. She's got a whole big spread of a bunch of different things. Apple pie. And she will just deliver heaping plates of it up to your rooms or to wherever you are located in the common area or wherever. Anything anyone wants to say or do right now? Yeah, Iris, you look
just went to her room.
Okay.
She's just I think I'm going to go lay down actually. And just went straight up to her room.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
I think Don definitely wants to have a conversation with Clover, but I don't know if he wants to have it right now. I feel like he wants her to ride out how she feels before he speaks, to her. He doesn't want to add more onto her plate. But he's definitely giving the look of I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
She does not notice.
Yeah.
She'd probably do the
right now.
Yeah, she's no longer crying. She's back to that forced smile. She will do the polite thing, eat at the table. But as soon as she's done eating, she'd ask Sue if she could get some ice cream later, and she's just gonna go to her room and wait for the ice cream and have a mom day that she needs.
Yeah, and because you sit in the common area to eat, Sue actually is conversing with you the whole time that she is cooking. And give me a quick insight check.
Oh, that was almost a nat 20. It's not, but it's damn close. Okay, so it's just a 18 total. I have
Okay.
not
I
great
think
insight.
Clover kind of it catches on to what's happening here. Sue is basically just saying stuff at you to distract you because she can tell that you're upset and she doesn't want to ask you questions about it unless you decide that you want to talk about it. So she's like telling you, well, you know, the trick when you're making pie is, and she's like showing you like how she like rolls out the pie crust, and she's like, now everybody makes their little tops differently, but I like to cut out little shapes and make it look like there's like a little scene here. And she like shows you, she's like, do you think we should do like stars or do you think we should do like little cows on the apple pie? And like is like asking you like all of these like very like just like a very light conversation, very low stakes. But she's trying to do what she can to give you a little bit of a distraction right now in the only way
that's
that she knows
appreciated.
how.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she like brings you over like a warm, like she brings you like a whole teapot with like the warming cozy on it and a bunch of cups. And when you tell her that you want ice cream, she's like, name your flavors. I'll have it up for you in your room shortly.
Oh my god. I'm just
Bass
gonna
and
do
Robbins
it.
ain't got nothing on me. We got way more than 32 here.
I'm gonna say what Kristy wants right now, which is bubblegum, the blue ice cream. I want that blue ice cream
It'll be up in your room when you get
with the
up there,
candy
honey.
in it. Something
Yeah.
sweet and very unhealthy.
Yeah. She tells you it will be waiting for you in your room.
Oh my god.
Unhealthy or a
Yes.
genius?
Huh?
I said unhealthy or a genius.
Kind of genius.
Yeah, kind of both.
unhealthy, but yeah. So yeah, you guys can retire to your rooms. You can have a nice meal. For Ego, are you gonna? Did you want to go directly to Moby Richard and Baja?
Yeah, because this is something that I want to. I knew it was the first thing I wanted to do when I completed the spell for the level up, and I can do it within 10 minutes if Moby Richard has what I need, which is I would just like not magical ink, but just regular dye, like either black or a dark blue.
Yeah, so you can knock on their door and Baha will open it and just kind of like waves for you to come in. You can see that this room is like very nautically appointed. It has those same furnishings in all of the rooms, like it has like a big cushy bed. There is like a separate table that seems to just be like the fishbowl table. But it's like a very big like normally he's in a little fishbowl like this. Right now the fishbowl is quite large.
Nice.
Dresser, like armchair, little side table, door to the bathroom and all of that, but like everything is like nautical stripes. There's anchors everywhere. There's like little pictures of octopuses and whales on the wall. And it even like the windows themselves that look out are these like round like porthole like windows. Baha will gesture you in and like provide you a seat near the fishbowl table. You can knock on it. Baha will come out. It's like, yeah, I got dye. I got dye in every color. You want like almost black, but like slightly blue?
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah. One trinket. Hold
Sure.
up in
Yeah, I literally got like
a billion.
now, yeah, so I'll pay him. Also, how are your legs coming along?
Very nicely. Would you like to see my prototype?
Yes.
All right, hold on. And he'll dive back under. He gets you your bottle of dye, and then he'll ask Baha for some help. And Baha will like reach into the fishbowl, and like the little castle in this fishbowl that is just like it's only that big, but it produces like items of any size. It's like very Mary Poppins. Slowly, he helps to like pull out of the water this like set of articulated like mechanical legs, on top of which are the smaller fishbowl that also still has a little castle in it. And Baha will help like get them set up and put on the ground. And then Richard will be like, all right, now watch this. And he swims into the castle and then swims out of the castle in the tiny fishbowl. And you can see that there's like a little like decoration piece in his fishbowl of one of those old timey like scuba tanks. Like the, you know how like the old scuba suits
Yeah. With like the big window riveted front. Yeah.
Yeah, and he like swims up into that, and you can see there's like tiny like levers and buttons in there, and he begins like pulling all of them,
I
and
knew
then
it was
like
gonna be like that.
yeah, you can kind of feel like the arcano-mechanical like power like surge through this thing, and it like springs to life, and these like little legs then take a step forward, and you can hear all of the gears like grinding against each other, and like there's like little bits of wood that help like create the frame, and then these gears like move it, and the magic courses through and powers like the little like a little motor in it, and the little legs begin to step forward, and he's like, obviously right now it's just walking. I kind of want to add some artillery to it next, you know, get a little bit of bada bing bada boom, if you know what I mean, but we got step 1 is done. I can walk now.
That's amazing. I'm happy that I was able to fulfill my end of the deal.
And I appreciate you for it.
Thank you. Well, this is all that I need from you right now, but I might be coming back to you to hound you for some spell scrolls and more ink.
Magic or I'm kind of low on magic stuff. You need regular, or you want the dye? Like, what do you look? You want the magic ink?
I'm gonna need more magic ink in the future if you're able to get some.
I'm gonna need some raw materials to make more, but I'm in a much better position to go try to harvest some on my own now, and without those nasty hack bitches in charge, it's a lot safer to do so. I'll get on it. I'll get on working on it. I'll put a rush order in.
Okay. I still need to raid all of their huts to see if they have scrolls and books anyway, so.
All right. Yeah. You know, I'm sure. I love a good, you know, what are they called? I love loot and hoards, you know, like when there's the hoards of treasure, like that's great. It's amazing.
I like it too.
Yeah. You find anything good, you know where to find me.
I do.
I like making deals.
I do as well. I think it's at that moment when I point, I go, oh, fingers normal. All right. I take that back to my room.
Yeah.
And what I do is I take my like big bag of Agden's extra scarves.
Mm-hmm.
I dump that all on my bed and I spread those all out.
Mm-hmm.
I pull my like top cover off of my bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I take the jar of dye and I literally just
oh god, that's not how you use dye.
I know Ego has no idea how to use it, but he's
what
like,
do I do with this?
But that's fine. Makes it all like a nice spongy mess on the floor, and I'm like just mushing it all together so it's a big black pile of fabric.
Yeah, those floorboards are permanently stained.
Perfect. I'll take off my hat.
Mm-hmm.
Put that on top. Reach into my bag. I've got some gold coins. Toss a couple gold coins on top.
Okay.
And I sit with my book.
Okay.
For my new spell, Fabricate.
Okay.
And I target all of these materials, including my hat. And it rises up in the air. And as I kind of like pull my hands almost like with Endelin's puppeteer threads, I pull
stop. Jamie! Jamie, there's anime voices coming from your mic.
I pull all of the fabric and fibers apart, and so it's all just spinning around the room. Start to draw on my book as they all weave into each other. The gold coins, one of them spindles out into a long spool of gold thread. The other ones fold into gold buttons as I fashion a dark blue tailored suit.
Oh, okay, nice.
With little bit of gold flower filigree sewn into it.
Oh,
to Dawn's proportions.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Slay.
And my hat, which is all made of the like silky black material, I've taken it off. I'm wearing my hair down, but I've tied it with a black bow. My hat turns into this silky black spider web design tie.
Oh, okay.
suit.
Oh my
Fold
god.
Fold all that up. So that he can have something nice to wear for dinner instead of stinky armor.
Yeah, you gonna give that to him now?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I got it before everyone was done eating.
Okay. Really quick before we do that, because that's probably gonna cap us off. Is there anything anyone else wants to say or do? I know we've got Saoirse is probably Saoirse and Clover, I would assume, are kind of like in their rooms processing. Is there anything that you want to share for like the audience of like what your characters are doing there? Or anything anyone else wants to do before we get into the suit?
Saoirse is creating tiny crystal cats of different like shapes, sizes, like positions and stuff, like little tiny cat statuettes, and just covering the room in like crystal cat figurines,
Mhm.
and trying desperately not to sleep. And then eventually she will fall asleep, but she's really trying not to sleep. She does not want to go to sleep tonight.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so you can definitely do that and fall asleep just absolutely surrounded by tiny crystal cats.
Mm-hmm.
Anything for Clover or just having ice cream and
Uh,
that's it?
I think she's like in her mind having an ice cream date with her mom, and so she sets up the photo on the other side of the like tub and sits like cross-legged at the top of the bed and is just sitting there like tears, like silent tears. Like there's no sobs. She got that out with Sue, but she's just sitting there eating because this is what her mom did to cope, and she's like, maybe it'll work for me.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
She probably doesn't sleep until much, much later, much like Saoirse.
Yeah.
She probably gets more ice cream after she finishes the tub, let's be honest.
It literally, if you want ice cream continues to manifest in your
Nice.
room for you. Like, you'll
Yep.
look over
Oh,
at the table by the door, like, and
The
there's
house
another thing of
the
ice
house
cream.
is like, girl,
Girl, I got you. You've had it rough, girl.
Yeah, and like when you sit in like the little armchair that's like at the table there, like the cushion is like extra plush right now. Whenever you eventually go to bed, the blankets are especially soft and warm, and the mattress is like even fluffier.
I love this house. It's in. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all you see at the moment.
Okay. I do not see a Jamie, so I'm gonna assume that Aurum is all set.
Or I
So-
was just sleeping. Sorry, I'm trying to do my Duolingo before I get hit by the bird.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah, so Aurum passes out, which is fair. He had like 7 hit points, I think. Ego and Dawn, we will wrap up the evening with this one, so have at it.
Cause you're probably already eating. So I've come back downstairs. My hair is like, I've tied it up with a bow so that it's like just above where my ankles are, so that it doesn't drag on the floor. But I come down. I don't know how to fold a suit, so it's kind of just like done.
Yeah. He'll come over. He looks at it, and he says, "Where'd you get this?"
I made it with a spell I've been working on. I thought I was going to need it to have to make legs for a fish, but I didn't need to. So I wanted to. I know you really missed your suit, and I was reminded of it when you talked to Sam, where it was like you could have it back, but you'd have to lose all your powers, and then Clover. So I made you one. It's not exactly like the one that you had, because honestly, I think that you're more fun now. So
Well, thanks. I really wasn't expecting it. I do take offense to calling me boring before.
I didn't say that.
I can read between the lines.
But you are more fun now. You do more fun things. That
Yeah,
doesn't mean you were boring before.
it's a lot to get used to. But thanks. I was really... I don't know, I kind of missed having a suit.
You know, a lot of our journey has been to like get things that we lost, and we're kind of losing a lot of other things along the way, picking up new stuff, but I change a lot day to day. The whimsy, the unpredictability, the darkness. But maybe we don't have to like leave everything. Your suit was cool.
I thought so too.
I think it will fit you. I can adjust it tomorrow if it doesn't. But I can't do it today. I only had one spell slot.
That's fine.
Cool. So you're asking for apple pie?
Yeah.
Never had pie.
Oh yeah, you didn't eat the pie when she made it the first time, did you?
No. So can I have a slice? In exchange for this gift that I'm giving to you. Like, you can say no.
We don't have to do everything the way that it's done in the Feywild. You lived on the material plane for most of your life. I'm sure you can abide by its rules one time, and he'll slide it over.
Yeah, and the pie is warm, with notes of like cinnamon, and has like a very like flaky crust with cows and stars and like moons on it. Because I think when Sue was like, "Should I do this or that?" and Clover was like, "Why don't we just do it all?"
Should I do with that?
And there's like a scoop of vanilla ice cream on the side. But yeah, you have this new suit, and the two of you have this like very like intimate like moment of like understanding with each other and just mundanity, I think. After traversing these bizarre Fey realms and having to face these fantastical and horrible villains that were plotting against you and everyone, I think, there's something to be said for just having a moment of mundane life, sharing pie together, and just talking about life. And I think with that, if there's nothing else that anyone wanted to do, that's where we'll call it for the evening, because we are approaching midnight. Thank you. Well, okay, before I get started on my outro, is everyone okay? I know some big things just happened.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh boy. Well then with that, thank you as always to my amazing, lovely, wonderful, beautiful, sexy, classy, cute players. I love having you here every week to tell crazy Feywild stories and go on fun adventures. Thank you to those of you that are watching now or in the future. We appreciate your patronage and your support of our channel. Don't forget to subscribe on Twitch.
YouTube?
I just saw that chat.
Oh.
I just opened up the Twitch chat and saw that. Good for you, dark purple quartz. I'll read that after. But yeah, so please subscribe to our YouTube and our Twitch. Join us on Discord to come hang out. We have Fandalver tomorrow, yes?
Yes.
Yes, Fandalver tomorrow, so
We
tune
bet.
in. Anything else?
Coupon code bonus at littledragoncourt.com.
Oh, yeah.
15% off your
you.
order.
Thank you, Cardboard Castle Games. Thank you, Little Dragon Corp, for your support. Thank you, Suncraft and Sirenscape and all that.
And thank
okay.
you, Vic. That was so good.
Thank you, and I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The next time you are trying to save scores of people from a hag's cruel transformation magic, and you are successful, but in doing so, lose your magical abilities, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus, and we will see you back here next week.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you, bye.
Ooh, love you. Bye.